This is a Galactic Network podcast.
The Podcast of Terror is a great podcast. It's covering movies that are not for children, and thus this podcast is not for children. The hosts are two adults who will use bad words from time to time. They'll also spoil movies if that's not your thing. So if you don't like spoilers and you don't want to hear some dirty language or some dirty references to dirty parts of your body, then please, please, please wash your body parts better and do not listen to this show. If you can handle it, and I hope you can because there's a great podcast coming up, then please proceed with Podcast of Terror.
Burn and fire, burn the fire. Burn and fire, burn the fire.
So I have a theory that half the reason. So I've gone out in public a bunch of times, and a lot of my friends are like, "Wow, you're actually really charismatic with women." And it's like, it's because I fucking have no skin in the game, and nothing's gonna happen. So I'm not like worried about it. If I were to be single and try to find a girl again, it would be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, once you know there's like no, like you have no skin in the game. There's no issue.
Absolutely.
I don't care. This is my buddy. It's like water off a duck's back, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There was so recently, I'm going to tell this story, and I know the two people that I was with will listen to this, and I hope they enjoy it. But I was at a bar with the two of them, and then one of their friends who's kind of a friend of mine.
Is this a threesome story?
No, it's not.
Okay, when you say two people you were with, it was confusing.
No mushing of tips were involved.
You got to spell it out.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, no threesomes happened. But a guy was there who I kind of know with his new girlfriend.
Are you sure it's not a threesome story?
I'm fucking positive it's not a threesome, Corey. Calm down. So his girlfriend found out that I dabble in lifting very heavy weights and started asking some questions. And he was also trying to figure out how heavy I could lift because he wanted to prove that he could lift more than me, which he failed miserably at. So
ego.
Yeah, I started to see that he was getting very agitated by my sexual prowess. And I basically looked at him and I said, "Your girlfriend's coming home with me." And I took my wedding ring off and I gave it to my friend. And I was like, "Just keep my wife busy because I'm taking this one home." And when I was leaving and I gave everyone a hug and someone was like, "Whoa, man, that's his girlfriend." I just turned and I said, "Not for long."
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was one of my finer moments, and I really all it is a funny story.
That's why you have to exercise. That's why it's important because that could happen.
It was just as I have 3 beers lined up, like I'm gonna fucking exercise real hard. So that if you're watching the video, you can't actually see the man. I've replaced his face with the Dokken picture from Dream Warriors, but that's our new friend Billy. I don't even know Billy's last name. He came from he's like Jack's baby.
I'm like, what?
Jack's baby. Jack just like sends people our way.
Yeah. It was all his idea.
Yeah, which is fine. And he's always like, "I got the perfect person for you." And I'm like, "Fucking Jack, sure. Just tell me, whatever." And then I'm like taking a shit, and I get a text message from a random phone number. It's like, "Hey, man, let's talk on the internet."
That's how I usually get brought up, is when people take it a shit, to be totally honest with you.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's when I do my best thinking. That and in the shower. Yeah. So, Billy, I guess you could tell as much as you want or as little as you want about who you are, because I don't know anything, so I need to know.
Well, first, thank you for having me. I know it was short notice.
No, it's awesome.
I appreciate it. And also, let me pick a topic is great. I really appreciate that. My name is Billy Kammerer, Kammerer. I'm from New York. I'm a New York City. If you couldn't tell by my accent, I'm
just waiting for your social security number to come out, too, because you're spelling out the last names.
Believe me, I couldn't give my identity away at the border. Believe me. Trust me, you don't want my... my bowling score is better than my credit score.
Ooh.
I'm from
boner
from New York. Big horror movie fan. Do comedy with Jack. That's how we met, and here I am.
So
I'm hiding from my 2 kids in my car. That's why you can't see me.
That's true. We turned the camera on, and it was just 2 eyes. It was very erotic.
Yeah, it's almost like my own little video. Bump in and out. It's better if I do that.
So the thing is I don't. The way that Lightstream works is I have to add your video. So even if you turn it on, only Corey and I can see it, and then all of a sudden I'm just going to be masturbating. So you should probably leave it off.
The first time it happened today, I got to be totally honest.
So you want to do your tight 5 real quick? I know that's an industry term. Just wanted to fit in.
Oh, my tight 5?
Yeah, you don't
I
have
have
to.
like a loose 2.5.
Oh,
I gotta be totally,
you gotta do a loose 2.5 then? That's the
I gotta
base.
be totally honest with you.
That's how I explain most of my shits.
I'll tell you my favorite joke that I wrote. My favorite joke.
I'm ready for it.
All right. Everybody before I got married told me, dude, it's like prison. Forget it. You're not going to enjoy it. It's like jail. It's like prison. And I never believed them until I swear to God, the other day, I woke up my wife working out, and then she stabbed me in the shower.
What the fuck? It took me a second.
Took you a second.
Took a second, but it was pretty good. I liked it.
Thank you.
Is that what
Did
you
Jack do his tight 5 when he came on?
No, Jack fucking. I had to beg him once. He's like, "Yeah, I recorded this set I did," and we've known Jack for years.
Yeah.
Pretty much since this, we've been doing this for just over 4 years now. We met him pretty much right at the beginning, and he's like, "Yeah, I recorded a stand-up set." I'm like, "Dude, I want to fucking see this." He goes, "No, it's not good." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up and send it to me." And I actually thought it was really good. Like
Jack is one of the most funniest, but like he's an unassuming kind of funny. Like you see him walking down the street, I'm like, whatever. But then like you talk to him, like, wow, this fucking guy really, really is sharp.
Yeah, he's kind of dry, and I really, really like dry humor.
Yeah, very dry, very
Yeah. Plus the accent makes everything funny.
yeah.
I can't say anything. I have a Wisconsin accent, so just about halfway through the next beer, you'll pick.
I don't detect an accent.
Just
Maybe
you wait.
Mine is so severe.
No. I mean, it's. I have more of like the southern half of the state. The more north you get, the more Canadian it gets. I will probably say "oh, sorry" once or 7 times. So you can kind of hear it in the sorry. Anything with a long A sound. In
I
most
try
states.
so bad not to get my A's. You know, I try not to.
Yeah.
You got to keep those on the wrap when you're broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see, there you go.
The people know what they're getting when they're listening to this show, so it's not a big deal. So what when you go to the grocery store, what do you carry your groceries home in?
A bag.
Yeah, it's a bag.
I totally just.
It's a bag.
A bag.
Yeah. So,
BAEG, a bag.
Yeah, it's yeah. There. Thank you. Remember when I go to Kansas, it's always a bag, and then when I go, could you give me that bag? They're like, what? So my buddy's band came. They were supposed to play in Wisconsin, and it didn't pan out. But they called it the "Who Spelt the Milk" tour because they think we all talk like fucking Canadians. Good times. So you're obviously a big horror fan. So what is your horror like background? We used to ask new people, and then we just kept having the same 6 people on. So I had to remember to do this.
The first horror movie I ever watched was Halloween 1978. The first one on HBO. I was 2 years old, and
seems like
I forced my mother to drag me to see The Shining in '81 in the theater. So I've been going to see horror movies since I could walk.
Wow. You never got like scared or anything?
Scared, but like not where like I thought it was real. I always knew it was bullshit. I always could tell it was reality from fiction. You know, I always knew the difference.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I've told the story a bunch, but the first time I saw Hellraiser on VHS, I was so scared I buried it in the bottom of the garbage can. And it wasn't even my movie. I borrowed it from someone.
He actually did the same thing with that guy's girlfriend from the bar.
my sister-in-law hid her father's VHS of Elm Street in her freezer for 2 years because she was so deathly afraid of it.
That's awesome. I also, Corey, I do want to start using burying it in your garbage can as a sexual reference. So when we're done here, I'm going to go up to my wife and be like, let me bury it in your garbage can.
You should have went to that guy. You know what I did? I just buried you in my garbage can.
I'm going to start burying something
I
in
like
someone's
them
garbage
apples.
can.
We'll put that in the Good Will Hunting sequel. That's your...
Christ.
Get them apples. That's your thing.
Are they doing a Good Will Hunting sequel?
The one when it was from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yep.
Oh.
Good Will Hunting 2,
Yeah.
hunting season.
You win.
I tell you, one of Ben Affleck's greatest performances was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Ben Affleck was pretty good in a lot of those Kevin Smith movies, though. Like, I really liked him in Mallrats.
Gonna kick your ass, Mole. That's my favorite.
Call me
His
Joey.
shoulders all big and square. You look like a box. Fucking love that movie.
Probably had giant fucking shoulder pads in that
Giant
jacket.
fucking shoulder pads, right? Like
Because that was
it was
what?
just wafting when he walked. It was just like breezy when he moved. It was like billowing under his armpits. It's amazing.
Back when baggy clothes were.
If Phantom's just a bomb, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, I used to we used to, in elementary school, there was a show we had to watch called Voyage of the Mimi. I don't know if anybody around ever saw it or whatever. It was called Voyage of the Mimi. And he was on it years ago. He was a kid. So my dream is to go, Affleck, you would have bombed Voyage of the Mimi, yo, once before. That's on the bucket list.
Well, I mean, you being a New York native, it sounds like famous people are just all around.
No, you would think, but not really.
Well, see, when you talk to Jack or you've met, I assume you met Kevin Howard.
No, I have
No,
not.
I just assume every one of you live a block away from each other. I don't know anything. But Kevin is someone else.
Subway, if that was the case. What would it do?
Kevin is someone else we met through Jack, and every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, I saw this famous person on the street." I'm like, I saw a black guy in Green Bay, and I assumed he was a Packer.
He thought he was lost.
No, so that's the thing. Like, if you see, and it sounds super duper racist, but it's fairly true. And it's like, if you see a black person in the city of Green Bay during football season, 90% chance they're a football player.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay is not. It's only like 100,000 people.
So it's like, so if Green Bay was like a big salt shaker, they'd be like a speck of pepper.
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
For horrible analogy.
I don't know if not at all. I don't know if you like football at all, but like Lambeau Field is in the middle of a neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been. I have a buddy who's been there, and he says it's probably the most incredible sight he's ever seen.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, it's still the cheapest league, or it's the cheapest team in the league. Like, someone was trying to sell me Vikings Packer tickets in Minnesota, and their cheap seats are $150, and the Packers are like $80.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
I would love to go to a giant game for $80. I can't even park for $80.
I was gonna say, can you get in the parking lot for $80? Yeah, I always like kind of am spoiled in that regard. And not that I'm a huge football fan, but I thought it would be cool to like go to, like I have a lot of friends from Minneapolis. It's only 4 hours from here, so a lot of times we'll go to the Packer Viking game at Lambeau, and I'm like, well, we should go out to US Bank. They got this big fucking new stadium, and then I look at ticket prices. I'm like, that's why I'm not going. It's fucking stupid. Plus, you can't see shit. I could, sit at home. I don't have to get drunk and drive.
Let me tell you something. The flat screen high def has just ruined everything.
Well, you watch the Jumbotron when you're at a game anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No lines, no parking. Everything's expensive as hell, especially if you have kids. Forget it. If
Yeah, you can hit your wife and no one's going to tell you no.
Right? Right.
I was
if you're lucky.
Really hoping someone was going to laugh at that. The crickets would have been real bad.
Listen, shit happens.
I mean, my closed fist slipped and hit her in the eye twice.
Yeah. Once in the stomach, my man.
That's just the primer. That was a warning shot.
Oh, we're horrible.
Yeah, we're not good people.
This is like I was kind of worried because I get a little off color. I'm like, oh man, I haven't done a podcast in a while. I'm not sure if my humor's gonna go over.
We've had multiple in-depth conversations about my testicles, so you're among friends. Plus, I feel like if Jack didn't think you were gonna fit in, he wouldn't have recommended you.
That's very true. Very true. I should have known better.
Or Jack just really wanted you to be uncomfortable for 1 to 4 hours.
And he's not here. Where the fuck is he?
He's at the beach trying to slam trim. I don't know.
Beach. It's like pitch black here. Like he's at the beach. It's dark.
I mean, I guess I should have known because when you turn your camera on and I just see one eyeball.
You think Jackson score on the beach in daylight? That's not right. No.
That's right. You have to get his stalking hours. I forgot. You got to get his.
Jack's gonna get sand in places he's never had sand before.
Jack's a hairy dude, and as a hairy dude, I don't want to see that O face. I don't want to see his cum squatch coming at me on fucking sand dunes. That's not right.
Funny? Like Keegan could feel like a little kid would think he's like Henry Cavill, like once in a while.
He is a good-looking dude.
He's he is. They get the vapors. Some women get the vapors when he walks in the room.
Beatmaster asked if Jack is doing a Baywatch reenactment. If he is, I want fucking film.
Doing the whole thing. He has his little orange little floaty thing.
Some people stand in the darkness.
I used to have to integrate commercials into Baywatch back in the day.
Really?
And yeah, for like different outlets, like different TV stations on like big reels and stuff, and old big tapes and shit to date myself.
So do you do comedy full time, or do you have like a white person job?
I have a I have a part-time like gig job. I do Uber on this. I do Uber when my wife's a teacher.
Okay. So Jack made a joke about you picking him up, and I didn't really understand what was going on. Now it makes sense.
Oh well, he talked about my my Uber thing. He was talking about when I drive Uber because when we go to gigs, I drive him. Like I pick him up and stuff.
Does he sit in the back seat like a dickhead?
Nah.
So now, okay, we're gonna talk about this because when you pick someone up that you don't know, do you prefer them sit in the front seat or the back seat?
No, back seat.
See, I've had people. I was in Nashville for work, and I was going back to the hotel, and the guy asked me politely to sit in the front. Super nice, like 60-year-old man. I've also been in Ohio, and the guy would just pushed his passenger seat as far forward as it would go and filled it with shit and wouldn't let you even try it. There was 3 of us. We put 3 adults in the back seat of like a Civic. He didn't fucking care, and so I've always wondered.
If there's a party, I realize that somebody's got to come up front. I get that, but I prefer you just.
Well, shouldn't they just be sitting up front, not coming?
I hook my back of my car up. I have water, gum, mints, tissues. I have hand
sanitizer down.
Yeah, I have. If you went to a restaurant, like a bathroom, it's like the back of my car, like cologne, all that kind of stuff.
Damn, are there condoms back there?
Not yet, but that's going to be the next.
And it was like
9 webcams, so you got your own HBO series.
When I work
going.
at night, sometimes I put it.
There you go. So what time do you normally work?
Right, I would love that. I do weekends and nights. Weekend and nights.
Do you like how late?
You got to written rules of the road. That's right. Beastmaster laying into Jane Silent Bob.
Yeah, he's from a different country, so he probably they're just getting that movie over there. I just make fun of me.
George Collins sucking dick in a highway. Come on, man. It's the best.
I wish I got to suck dick on a highway.
The unwritten rule of the road.
So how long have you been doing Uber for? Oh, I hope we didn't lose him.
We freeze.
Oh, no, there you are.
I'm here. There we are.
So how long have you been Ubering for?
About 2.5 years.
Oh, holy shit. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I assume you don't hate it?
No, you know what? I was I used to like dispatch like limousine stuff, and like I know what it's like to have a boss and somebody breathe on your neck. I have no boss. I come and go as I want. It gives me a lot of freedom, so a lot of flexibility, which I need.
Yeah. Based on your accent, you should actually be a homicide detective.
Dun 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 dun.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
oh, what do we got here, fellas? I lean down.
Yeah.
Toothpick in my mouth.
Yep. You just got to hold your tie from laying in the guy's half his head that's left.
Where's the perp?
Where is the gig economy for murder investigations? That should actually be a thing.
Right.
Wow.
Well, geez, I mean, I'm sure there's people that do it now. Everybody thinks they're CSI.
That's a really good point. Just like everyone thinks that they're also a podcaster.
But everybody thinks they're everybody thinks they're Howard Stern, Steven Spielberg. Everybody has their own. Everybody's great now. Everybody's fantastic. And we got to tell them.
There's a couple unfantastic things we need to talk about. One, Taco Bell. Do you eat Taco Bell, Bill?
Once in a while,
they are cutting.
That's why you got the tarp in the back seat. That's
They are cutting 9 items out of the menu. I'm a little upset, but at least they're keeping the cheesy gordita crunch.
I only eat crunchy tacos anyway, so I wouldn't know what they were moving off the menu or not. I just eat those things.
They are getting rid of 2 of the Doritos Locos taco flavors. They're getting rid of the Cool Ranch and the spicy nacho one.
Yeah.
So what's like? So you ready to riot or what? I never had the Doritos.
I like when my wife told me about it, I was like, holy shit! I hope they didn't get anything I like. And then she read them off. I'm like, I don't fucking care about any of this. But Corey actually posted the link on our podcast Facebook and insisted that we discuss this, so I had to bring it up.
Yeah, but I mean, we're already living a fucking lie with the show. Like, if we give people expectations and then we don't meet them, they're used to that. We call this the podcast of terror. How often do we talk about the fucking terror movie?
Depends on the movie. Depends on the person.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, Billy, I'm supposed to ask you, have you seen Hereditary?
Oh, yeah.
Or Heredity? And what did you think of it?
No, I have not seen Heredity or Hereditary yet. No, I have not seen that yet.
All right,
It's
you're
on my
a
watch
lucky fuck.
list. My watch list is very backed up.
Beatmaster says that this is horror for Corey. That's funny. I also am supposed to mention. So a coworker of mine has a podcast. I need to make sure not to call him by his real name because they use pseudonyms over there. Packets and Bolts.
Like it.
It's like I at first thought it was technology, and then they did like one episode on technology, and it's like 3 hours of ranting. It's pretty entertaining. But
You ever watch It's Always Sunny?
Yeah.
When they were recording their podcast, let's talk about technology. The big T. Sorry, I just had to
Big T. Yeah.
throw that out there. I'm sorry.
No. So Muskrat at Packets and Bolts bought me Indian buffet in exchange for me thanking him and mentioning their podcast on our show. So
Pay for play.
he paid for his advertising.
What was the name of the show again, Matt?
Packets and Bolts.
Packets and Bolts.
Yeah, it's like a penis, and that's a bolt.
Okay.
Then a vagina is the packet.
Show not about technology.
Yeah.
Not about the big T.
He wants me to go on there and do beer reviews because apparently I have a drinking problem.
Yeah, but your drinking problem is that you drink White Claw, you little bitch.
You know what? I was at band practice. I was very sweaty, and someone handed me a White Claw, and I had to get refreshed and hydrated. Corey, have you ever played blast beats? They require a White Claw.
I don't know what any of those words were.
I gotta go.
Oh man, you need to listen to more death metal, buddy.
If you could see me, if you could see me, I'm scratching my head too. I'm not gonna lie.
God, do I have to fucking? Oh my god! All right, please hold. I will get you guys.
Now, I'm just guessing. I assume that White Claw is like the LaCroix of alcohol.
No, it really is. It's just LaCroix with.
So it's like a strawberry took a gentle piss in a babbling brook, and then someone put 2 proof in it.
Basically, well, they're 5%, so I mean they're pretty much hard liquor.
Okay.
Oh man, did I tell you I got my Jägermeister Spice?
You told me you were getting it.
I
I described it to Aaron, and Aaron just struck me.
Oh, dude, it showed up, and it is just as delicious as I remember it being. No,
Just as delicious
yeah.
as all that unconsciousness.
Oh, yeah, so goddamn good. Cinnamon and vanilla, and I didn't throw up.
Tastes like I got raped in my sleep.
Wow.
It's a familiar taste. I'm not gonna lie.
How often do you get raped in your sleep?
Every
I
time
don't know.
I drink
I'm always
Jägermeister.
sleeping.
So going back, Beatmaster told me to use samples and then called me a functional drunk. That's also something else that I'm sure both of you don't understand, but I get it. And sometimes it's nice to be on the inside of a joke or a woman.
Wow.
Well, I'm married, so that doesn't happen.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Yeah. And found out my wife listens to this, so I'm probably going to get hit.
Oh, yeah.
Your wife watches and listens to your stuff?
She will listen on movies that she's seen. Or
I'd have to
likes.
knock my wife out with a hammer to get her to come to one of my shows anymore.
Dude, I didn't even know. Like, we had been doing this for like 3 years, and she
You
told
get
me.
to knock your wife out with a hammer.
That's true. My wife comes to watch my band play only when we're in town, which is fine. Because then she can't yell at me for acting like a child out of town. So there's that. Yeah.
Like the first couple of times she was all like, pumped up for it and excited. Then
You were going to say hot and bothered. Yeah.
Maybe more wet and annoyed.
Wet and-
It's maybe more of a better
This
term.
sucks, but I'm going to fuck him.
Pickens was slim. What could I say?
Yeah. Well. So how often do you do shows?
It's really like once in a blue moon, if any. Lately, it's gotten. I haven't done it in a while.
Do you?
Now, do you test material on the people driving with you? Do you sit there and like,
oh yeah,
while you're here?
Yeah.
Let me see if
I don't like try to do it, but if I let it flow naturally, I do. And my ratings are okay. I do pretty good.
So
my Uber's a 4.9 and my Lyft's a 5.0, so I'm okay. I'm not gonna. As I hurt myself, patting myself on the back.
Well, that's what happens when you get older. You need to stretch
Very good,
more.
idiot. I can get to point A to point B. Good boy. Very good.
Don't pat yourself on the back because you don't have that health care, but that's fine.
No,
Well,
it's a
thankfully,
teacher.
I'm fortunate that I have my wife's a teacher. So
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm fortunate. I'm lucky.
Bring
So-
in that big ass teacher money.
Yeah, do
That's it.
teachers in New York have like good health care and good compensation?
It's okay.
I was like, because here it's like pretty well known that
Well-
they're paid for shit.
Yeah, and they killed your unit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so luckily, if it wasn't for her, I've worked the private sector in New York, and believe me, she has good benefits. She has good. We're lucky.
Yeah. It took me a minute to realize that you said union. I thought you said unit with your accent.
They killed your unit.
It's like, no,
Wisconsin stopped their units.
I still got a boner. It's no big deal. It's not that.
Always comes back to Matt's dick.
Sorry.
It's true. Why?
Every once in a while, I lose my the grasp and I talk sort of fast.
Oh no, that's fine. I've been told
Queen's thing.
my penis is a songbird of its generation.
You know what? True story. This happened to me last night. I swear to God. I picked up a singer from Broadway. She's on Broadway now singing with Hello Dolly. And her friend tells me to pick a song to sing. And I said, okay, do Sweet Child of Mine. And she starts singing it. And I'm like, wow, this is just like Step Brother. She lost it.
Oh, I was gonna say, please tell me you just lean back. You went, you're flat.
You're flat, yeah.
We have the money in those lessons.
$800 a month for vocal lessons.
Right. It was so funny.
Oh, that's
True story. True story.
Huh, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
I would listen to you. I'm trying to actually transition into talking about the movie because I know you have a lot to say. I do. So, I forgot how fucking great this movie is. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
Oh, yeah.
I forgot Dokken did the song for this.
Oh, best.
Yeah, and this is like at the end of when bands actually wrote songs specifically for movies.
Well, it is off of their Back for the Attack album, but it was definitely written for the film. And then they have Dokken open when we first see Kristen. They're playing another Dokken song in her room, and I think Don Dokken actually
Into
wrote
the
some of
Fire.
the interstitial music throughout the movie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. The first song is Into the Fire, I believe.
Yep, Into the Fire.
Yeah, that's the most Dokken I've ever heard in my entire life, knowingly.
You know, them too.
You are mistaken, sir.
I
You
know.
are wrong. You don't know how wrong. And Don Dokken is literally crying right now.
I mean, I like Dokken. I'm just.
I know that Don Dokken is listening to this because what else does he have to do on a Sunday night before a holiday?
A Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Dokken is the Taylor Swift of his time. He got fucked over in every goddamn song.
I never actually knew that. Is that true? Like, is
Yes.
every one of his songs about having a boy break up with him?
You fucked me. You left me. I'm just sitting here crying in the rain now. That's every goddamn Dokken song.
I get that.
And
When
George
they
Bush
change
is
the night, I follow you. I can see that.
Interesting. Well, that's not going to make me revisit Dokken. I'm not going to lie.
And also, probably the video also was awesome. And it was at what they did. They had at the end of the VHS, which they never did back in the day.
Oh shit, you're right. It was a bonus feature on the DVD.
Yeah, and like if you didn't let it go, you would never know that it was there.
It's like the hidden track on a CD. You had to
Yeah,
wait for
right,
someone to
exactly,
be
yeah.
like, "Hey, if you play the last song for 58 minutes, there's 30 seconds of the band farting."
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody forgot the stop button.
Yeah, I know.
I am going to get some deserved shit for this, but I'm more of a fan of the Vinnie Vincent Invasion song and video from the next movie from the Dream Master,
Dream Master?
Love Kills. Not that I'm a fan of Vinnie Vincent, because
The Dream Master soundtrack was very underrated.
Yeah,
There
but
was a Blondie song on there. The Divinyls had a track on there.
yeah, after watching
Also-
this movie last night, I went ahead and watched Freddy's Dead because I had only ever seen that movie once. First of all, that movie's a piece of shit.
Oh,
Second
yeah,
of all,
killing
it
me.
opens up with the Goo Goo Dolls. Like, that is a failing in and of itself.
But that was pre, City of Angels Goo Goo Dolls. That's back in the day with Thrash Band Goo Goo Dolls.
What happened, man? That entire movie was basically like doing a Tom and Jerry cartoon with Freddy on there. Like everybody who died, it's just basically slapstick bullshit, and nobody seems to give a fuck. This woman that's running around supposed to be protecting these kids sees one of them falling down the stairs, sees him going in the giant pit, and just doesn't even lunge for him. Just like, oh
Let them
fuck.
go. Yeah. Oh well, I have a theory about because like you saw the difference between like 1, 2, and 3. Like the 3 was when they really started to use the dream land. Like 1 and 2 just gloved, flashy people. 3 started with the creative kills and all that nonsense. Like so, like when I watched them, and I watched them a lot. To me, it's like after each one, it gets like a bit more of a wise ass dick. And that's why each one gets goofier and goofier. You sort of like seeing his personality come out in each movie more and more.
It becomes about the punchlines.
And like at the end, it's like, oh, he's just this fucking guy that's like having a good time.
Yeah.
That's how I deal with it.
Now, for me, Dream Warriors was and still remains my Nightmare on Elm Street. It was the first one I saw in the theater. I was 16 when it came out. So me and a bunch of friends went to see it. And it changes things because the kids are victims throughout these things, but there's only ever one person that's really fighting Freddy in each film. All the rest of them are just like, oh, I don't believe it, or it's okay, and it's just bullshit, it's just a dream, no big deal. But in this one, all the kids get powers, and it kind of plays off of, for me as a teenager, like the superhero X-Men kind of thing. With them having abilities and stuff and the shared experience, it changes the whole thing. Plus, it's one of the Nancy ones. And the Nancy ones are always the best ones. So if you go with the original, you go with this one, you go with New Nightmare, which isn't necessarily Nancy, but it's the actress Heather who plays her.
Yeah.
Those are definitely the better of the films. But I think as a teenager, like this was kids, not only are like my parents and the adults aren't fucking listening and it's me against them. They don't give a shit about what's going on with me. That theme, which is pretty prevalent in a lot of horror stuff. But the idea of them like teaming up was a huge fucking thing, a huge change for the films, and kind of fell apart in the next one. It goes back to just like Kristen gives her powers to Alice, and then Alice starts collecting everybody else's shit, which is still cool, but in a different way.
I agree. It's funny because to me this movie speaks to me in a different way because at that age. Full confession, I was in a hospital at the time for issues and stuff like that. So I totally related to all of them.
Yep.
Sitting in group, being pissed off. Nobody's listening to you. So it really spoke to me on that level at a young age. I kept waiting for Freddy to walk through the door.
What was that song by Suicidal Tendencies? The Institution one or whatever, where it's like all I wanted is a fucking Pepsi.
All I wanted was a Pepsi, Mom.
Yeah, that's again this sort of thing is like all these kids who are stuck in this area where they're like, some of them are cool, some of them are not, but it's really like it's them against the institution, and the institution doesn't give a fuck. It's just like, I just want to medicate you to shut your ass up, and that's going to be okay. When you're not okay is okay for me.
And they, what they all do, but they really paint the adults in such a stupid way. Every kid complains about the same thing, right? Same guy, same thing.
Yep.
Not good. Just go take a nap. You're gonna be fine. It's just.
Although we do get Lawrence Fishburne as the badass fucking dude hanging out like
Lawrence Fishburne as the orderly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like that's great. Yeah, that's cool.
Pre-Matrix Lawrence Fishburne.
Exactly. He's like, you're gonna take the red pill, just fucking.
Right?
Just fucking.
Also, I think pre King of Cartoons. Also, he just started Pee Wee's Playhouse. I think also.
Yep, probably around the same time.
Oh wow, Freddy was in that. How great would it be if Matrix 4 is really just Nightmare on Elm Street 3?
That'd be great. There's a blip in the Matrix. There's a glitch in the Matrix.
It's the same sort of deal. Is it's something that's affecting your dreams, your consciousness, the way you see yourself, and say the way you see your world around you. So the Matrix definitely owes a lot to Freddy Krueger, although it owes more to Grant Morrison's Invisibles, and Warner Brothers won't fucking pay him.
What I thought was good about Dream Warriors also was that this was the first to explore like heavy teen themes. First, it was just about sleep deprivation, and although part 2 you realize years later what it was about, when people figured out what it was, the homosexuality, all that stuff. But part 3 was like suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was Kristen, and so you really learned drug addict with what's her face?
I'm beautiful and I'm
right. Taryn.
Yeah, and that actress went on, I think, in the same year, does
Jennifer
this movie
Rubin,
called
yeah.
Bad Dreams.
Bad Dreams, yeah, same thing, yeah.
Exactly.
That guy was a cult leader or something.
Right. But
I already saw that movie once.
She's walking around and he's just like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Like, that's bold.
Very bold. I'm surprised it wasn't. I'm pretty sure there was some sort of lawsuit.
I didn't care. I don't even know if New Life had anything to do with that one or not. But
there's probably cuts of that film that I probably couldn't make, but whatever.
Trying to see if
he didn't have knives for hands, and if he didn't have knives for hands, he didn't count for shit.
Another favorite part about another thing I do when I watch Dream Warriors now, the doctor Neil, tell me he doesn't look like Bill Maher.
Oh yeah, he does.
So I
which is why every time he's getting his ass kicked throughout the thing, it's like, you fucking did.
So when I watch it, I sort of do like a Bill Maher, like doing Neil, new rule, Freddy, for the children, okay, like.
Yeah, some of those lines get a little ridiculous in these movies. But I still love Freddy's one-liners. Like, "Welcome to Primetime, bitch" is probably my favorite Freddy line of every movie.
Yeah, fuck the Primetime is good. And also, that's another thing is that we see the culture start to seep in from the outside, and the reverse is that the movies get popular enough that I know, Dick Cavett and Zsa Zsa Gabor are not giant names, but they are people who show up in a capacity of playing themselves essentially to be in this movie, and that is a big jump for this kind of film.
Yeah, it went from two really low budget sort of independent movies to now look, as you can tell by special effects. I guess budget wise had something to do with it, but like the kills, the TV, the marionette, the puppet, the marionette. My it's probably like my second favorite one. The roach kill in part 4 is probably the greatest death in film history, in my opinion.
I mean,
there's me on that one on Twitter, and then the marionette is probably second.
Yeah, and that's I actually have the action figure of the chick turning into the cockroach. That was like the one thing my sister-in-law got me that I didn't hate.
I used to have such a collection of. I started collecting a little while ago, a few years back, and I had some pretty decent ones. But I'm like, the kids come and you had to make room. So I got to keep a select few. I have my Matchbox Talking Freddy.
Oh, nice.
And I have a couple of. I have one as Freddy is from Freddy vs. Jason before in Robert Englund, and I have a Demon Freddy, which I got him autographed.
Oh, nice.
Which I got him to autograph when I met him a few years back.
Yeah, it was our last wedding anniversary. My wife got me a shadow box with a replica of Freddy glove with the sweater behind it.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, I was pretty excited. She's pretty goddamn good at giving gifts. This year for my birthday, she got me this like cardboard. I don't know if it's cardboard or what, but it's like a shadow box with like a cartoon-looking Captain Spaulding inside of it.
You ready for the Devil's 3 or what's it called?
3 from Hell.
3 from Hell, yeah.
Yeah, I got my I bought the 3 soundtracks on record on vinyl. That showed up the same day that thing came. And
wow,
the first premiere night is on my birthday, so I said, "This is what we're fucking doing."
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
So, what'd you think of Zombies Halloween?
The first one was okay. Like I like the backstory that's involved. The second one I thought was complete hot dog shit, but I kind of want to go see it again.
Don't you think the backstory could have been anybody from Anytown, USA, instead of just Michael Myers?
Oh, absolutely. Fuck yeah. But
I remember the first time I watched it with my wife, and wow, it's like I'm watching Joe Dirt's Revenge or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the need to do the backstory because, I don't feel like having watched the original, that was something that I really needed.
It just sort of took all, these movies are fun.
Yeah.
It's about killing stupid kids.
That is fun.
Right.
It's about it's an exaggeration. Sort of it was a social social satire back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, now it's a little different. But and then when I watched Rob's Halloween, it wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun. Like there was no suspense. There was a rape. Okay, I don't.
Yeah, there was that.
Wow.
Have you seen like 31?
31 I haven't seen. No,
Okay, I'm trying to. Did you see Lords of Salem?
no, I have. I stopped at Halloween 2 was my last Rob Zombie.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there was anything you'd
But
seen.
I will go see 3 from Hell though, because I loved House of Thousand Corpses and I love Devil's Reject.
Yeah. So like 31 and Lords of Salem aren't like great movies, but I was just curious what you thought of those. Like, go see the Haunted World of El Super Beasto. That was like the cartoon
right?
he
Yeah.
did like before House of Thousand Corpses, and it's actually a really fucking entertaining movie. But I think when he started to take himself a little too seriously is when he kind of fell off the way again, like trying to reinvent the wheel, redo Halloween and all this other shit.
When you reinvent the wheel, you usually run yourself over.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's one is that these movies, these characters are beloved.
Yeah.
And the remakes often don't bring anything new to the table other than trying to make them be more serious. And it loses, like you're saying, it loses the flavor of what the original films were because they were fun. It's weird to say that it's fun to see kids get killed. I assume that they should be more fun for adults than they would be for teenagers, but the teenagers are way into it. But when you have the legitimately rapey version of Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, it just destroys everything that makes Freddy as an interesting character. It's like now you're just squeamish and like don't want to watch it.
The whole movie took away everything interesting about the Freddy character. The whole, even like that. His whole, I mean, for lack of a better term, his whole essence was gone.
Mm-hmm.
There was no, there was some wisecracking, but it wasn't effective. It was that whole movie was just.
And Jackie Earle Haley is completely capable of doing something really cool with a character like that, but the story that they gave him to be was not, and I think that's the problem, is that people have decided. It always seems like the amp up is to make things more dark, more insidious, more hateful,
more hate. That's an excellent point.
And over-explain things. You see it in superhero movies a lot of the times. You see it in just almost anything that's remade. It's
as dark as Dream Warriors was, there was sort of a light tone to it. I mean, it's crazy. You know what I mean? There was jokes. There was a feel to it. There was a emotion with it.
But we also went the wrong way in the other direction. What I was saying about Freddy's Dead is that it was just so over silly and had no impact.
Tom and Roseanne walking around.
Yeah, and or like it's like the Batman movies after Burton left.
You know what's funny? She's even banned from Springwood now. That's crazy.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, say about Batman, Corey. I apologize.
No, fuck, whatever. When I went to acquire all of these movies, I saw that there is a remake of the 84 and 2010 coming out in 2021, which I didn't know.
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't catch that.
So there's a reboot already slated to come out in 2021 of the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
They're trying to do it one more time.
Yeah, but it says it's a reboot of the 84 and the 2010 movie. So what the fuck that means, I don't understand.
Into the Freddyverse.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a Spider-Man joke I didn't get?
You'll get both Freddys and then like two more Freddys, and Nicolas Cage will play Freddy from another universe. It's just in black and white.
Tell you something. I would pay a lot of money for a Nicolas Cage Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, me too. Robert
Nicolas Cage has been standing around for somebody in a horror movie thing. I feel like he was supposed to take over some character.
Of all the people who have been rumored, nobody says Nicolas. I would want to see Nicolas Cage.
It probably
Nicolas
wouldn't be
Cage is already creepy enough. You know, you can't really dress him up and make him more creepy. The man doesn't blink.
Beatmaster says it's New Line Cinema's New Lord of Rings. He also said, here, we should start Beats Fun Trivia Fact of the Hour. Adjusted for inflammation, Freddy vs. Jason was one of the biggest box office of all Freddy movies.
Yeah.
I was at opening night during a blackout. I'll never forget, we had a blackout here in 2003. And I was worried about not being able to go, but fortunately, the movie theater prevailed, and I got to see it opening night.
This is gonna make me sound like a douche, and I'm fine with that. I saw it twice in the movie theater, and I was a senior in high school, and at the time I was in my first heavy metal band as a vocalist, and we all wanted to have cool metal names. So I stole Psychobabble from Freddy vs. Jason, which is not a name, but it is a line that the guy uses. And I'm like,
I think I just felt like how you felt when you found out my real name for the first time.
I thought it was.
Matt does not like bands with singers. You know, I don't know what he considers him being a vocalist in a band was, but if it was actually singing at all,
no, it was all
then that's way against your nature.
No,
that's
it was
having a second working testicle.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I never knew I was good at screaming until someone's like, "Hey, we don't have a singer. Come do this." And then I did it. And then like a month later, like, maybe you should just play the drums. So I went back to playing the drums, and it was weird.
There goes Matt's whole presentation of being Phil Collins for this band. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking rock it from both sides."
I did continue to do backup vocals for that band and did purchase a headset. Everyone made fun of me, but I didn't have to worry about a microphone.
With a little property of Psychobabble sticker on it, so they know it was yours, right?
Fuck, man, I wish I would have got stickers made. That would. Hey, man, I was like 17. Leave me alone. Actually, I was probably 18 because I'm assuming this came out in October. But
my favorite Warren song was 17. I mean, Winger song, Warren song. I apologize.
Oh,
I'm stoned too, so
oh, that's fine. You do what you gotta do.
I just appreciate that you have a favorite Winger song.
Oh, look who decided to pop in.
Yeah, I got.
And I'm sure Kip also appreciates that you have a favorite Winger song.
His mom doesn't have a favorite Winger song.
Red Beach doesn't really give a shit, I'm sure. But
So Jack shows up and then he fucking
disappears.
goes under the table. I can't wait for him just to pop out. He's like, ah!
He's gonna come out in a Freddy mask.
It's Jack Boy.
No, I want him to show up in a fucking Kip Winger wig.
Ooh. He's moving so fast.
Holy cow. Dude, your teeth are so white. Wow. I'm so impressed.
Okay, I'm glad that it's not, but I was really looking at you thinking that was a Wu-Tang shirt you were wearing, Jack. So
that's what I thought it was, too. It's a Poontang shirt, is what it is.
Oh, Jack, you sound like shit. You sound like a robot. I'm too fucking lazy to go and fix any of this.
Yeah, he's probably unplug and replug his mic.
Yeah. Take it out and put it back in.
You can't hear me?
No, I can hear you. You're just really quiet and you sound kind of robot-y.
You sound like customer service for
T-Mobile? Is T-Mobile a thing you guys have there? Did I just make myself relevant?
Using an XLR USB adapter instead of using my usual equipment.
So you sound less like a robot, but you're super quiet. And it also sounds like there's someone playing chimes in the background.
Yeah. Somebody.
It's your roommate picking up chimes?
They're doing Tai Chi in
Now Jack on the marimba.
It's nice to see you guys. Have a great night.
Oh no, we almost got you.
You almost got it.
Yeah, you're almost loud now. I want to know why his teeth are so fucking white all of a sudden.
Unbelievable. There you go.
I just sucked so much dick. I just had so much fun.
No, that's fine. So you're getting better. You don't sound like a robot.
I'm literally not doing anything different.
Huh.
There is still that kind of.
Yep. Oh, there he goes. Going under the table again. Just watch his head, Bob. There it goes. Wow, now we're getting to his room.
Oh, definitely hear a lot of shit now.
Yeah. This is great podcasting, by the way.
But yeah, I also know you are not going to edit any of this out.
No,
the
fuck
final
no, I'm
audio,
not going to fix
and I
any
love
of this.
that about you. So to the listeners, I just want to say, you knew what you were getting.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't be surprised.
If you want Jack
By the
Picone
way,
here,
Seatmaster is Swiss.
I know he's Swiss.
I know. I'm just. We're just going off the things that people know by now.
Just because I thought he was Norwegian for like 6 years, it's fine.
Right.
Is he from Norway?
No, he's from Switzerland.
Oh, cool.
I just couldn't remember which country it was, and they're pretty much the same thing.
That's awesome. I'm from New York City.
Yeah, he likes to wake up at like 4 a.m. to hang out with us. It blows my mind. Oh, I should just assume he's
Dedication.
He's never actually goes to bed.
What do you think? Do you like hearing Jack vacuum all the way from Switzerland?
I'm actually just curious if he's going to start screaming swear words.
I think he's picking up quarters and stuff.
It took me a long time to actually read what Beat said, but he does make sense. Like, Jesus Christ, his upload could be pegged. I wonder if it's sweaty now. What's happening? I feel like this is like a weird cam girl. Like we're paying $4.99 a minute to see what Jack's doing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take him private unless.
He's got a cord in his mouth.
Jack, flick your bean.
How much for exclusive, Jack?
Jack, what's your Venmo so we can get on your private snaps?
Yeah, I want to get that private Snapchat.
That's an awesome, good catch with that one.
There
Oh,
you
he's gone.
go.
I didn't like the Cam Girl show.
I don't know if you can actually hear anything we were saying.
You too can have a career in Cam Girl. It's a Cam Girling, I guess.
Cam girling, yeah.
Fuck Uber. That's the real gig economy. That is way better. Also, you got to lay down.
Oh, just wake up and go to work.
I guess you just roll out of bed.
You got to put a little makeup.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of streams where that's just tits until you start paying money.
Right.
What do you need to pay money
So
for
I've heard.
past tits?
Well, they're not like the tits aren't out.
Well,
It's
still.
just like chest, and then you're fucking gambling. Like we'll pump $3.99 for a first minute and see what this face looks like. Or so I've heard. I've never done any of this.
Yeah, back in my day, it was 976 numbers. You had to
Right,
imagine
100
everything
numbers.
usually pre-recorded.
Yeah.
You just went with it.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer calls the sports line, and the guy talks really slow.
Oh, the Professor Pig.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professor Pigskin.
Yeah. Professor Pigskin, and he's like the matchup between the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. There's a lot to consider. The wind is out of the west, and Homer's like, just give me the score.
And then when Lisa called the Corey hotline, it was the same thing.
Yeah, it was the exact same thing.
Speaking of Freddie, he used to have a 900 number,
Yes.
and it
Freddie
was
had a
trivia,
976 number.
and it was trivia.
Oh, really?
And I called.
Uh-oh.
My grandmother let me call, thankfully, and I actually won the. There was a series of trading cards made about 1991 from the series up to Freddie's Dead, and I won the series of cards. It came in a little coffin,
Oh, wow.
and it was cool. It was like a bunch of trading cards and a bunch of hologram cards. So that was my $70 that my grandmother let me blow on Freddy Krueger. Really?
I think that's actually working.
It'd be
It gets quiet.
fucking cool.
Lord, give me strength.
Oh. All right.
1-800-8604-FRED and one. Yeah, I called the 1-900-909 Fred. Fucking Beastmaster. I'm like mega impressed.
Jack, we can hear you.
Is this better?
Oh, fuck no. You're coming through your onboard mic, not your plug-in one.
See, I thought that's what was happening before. Let me see.
But he does sound better though.
No, yeah, you totally sound better. But it's not. That's not the mic. Yeah. I do really enjoy that Bill called Beatmaster Beastmaster.
That happens a lot.
So I
Does it
think I
happen a lot?
I might just call him Beastmaster now.
I'm having a little Mark Singer flashback. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. You have nothing to apologize for. You although you didn't know what you signed up for when you agreed to do this. I
None of us
actually
did.
made us sound professional, I bet.
Is this any better?
Mm-mm.
It's not professional. Is this any better?
Yeah, nothing out of that one.
There's a vacuum again. Tell the maid to stop. What is?
I think that's like a room mic that you're getting on that one.
Alexa, turn off the computer fan. I think that's what chimes. I have to keep a fan on my computer to keep it from overheating.
It sounds like somebody doing landscaping.
Yeah.
That's a computer fan.
Yeah, no, it's just a regular fan that I keep on the computer.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know which mic is this. I guess it just doesn't work. It's USB to XLR.
This is going to be the greatest episode of worst episode ever.
And I got fucking shots fired outside my window over here. I'm sure that's good.
What?
Whoa. Where were you from? Where is that happening? I heard that.
I'm in Michigan.
Oh, well, that explains it.
This is celebratory gunfire, I'm sure.
That explains it.
Well,
Jack's got it.
Yeah. We're just playing Jack roulette over here.
He just pops in and out. He's like my father. He does it everything.
True story. The problem is not that your father left. It's that he lost your mother to Matt at a bar one night.
Is that what happened?
Absolutely.
Total liar.
I am
Any better?
Huh?
Anything?
I mean, you're quiet, but
Is it? Can you give me more specific feedback?
talk right now without your mouth in the microphone.
Hello, this is Jack about to kill myself and burn the apartment down.
At least I got that recorded. So it's the right mic. It's just really fucking quiet.
Don't mind me.
Oh,
There
it
you
actually
go.
sounds
Wow.
better.
But
I
that may
think
have been from your computer, but it's
Yeah, I think it's
sounded
just using your computer one, which sounds fine. Looking
good.
good,
Unless
Jack.
now he can't hear us. No.
Probably not.
I can hear you. I'm just trying to concentrate here.
I can see myself through Jack's glasses. I can see the reflection of the.
Wow.
So Jack, we of course just now started talking about the movie.
Yeah, we glossed
I
over it.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that when I'm
Even
3?
better.
No, I've seen it.
Oh.
And I talk to you? What?
How are your teeth so white? Or
yeah,
you-
like I'm amazed.
yeah, did you do something with your teeth?
No, I brush them
Oh.
once every other day.
Or are you just that tan right now?
That often? I mean, I can see why you can put forth the extra effort, but
He's got to look good for his monthly internet appearance. How long were you sunburned for?
Wait, what?
How long were you sunburned for?
I'm still peeling all over. I gotta show you pictures. I just wake up every morning and skin. There's just skin everywhere. It's disgusting.
Please, let's call it Jack Jerky.
Am I using this mic?
I don't think so.
no, I don't think so. I
But
think
you don't
you're
sound
still-
terrible right now. I just had a mental image of someone saying something and Jack getting a boner and just tipping his computer back.
That's because you're always thinking about Jack getting a boner. Don't lie.
Yeah, so
I am Jack's throbbing boner.
How about now?
Those
Is this
Fight
this
Club
mic?
fans out there.
you're on the right one.
It's my real mic now.
Yeah,
Does it sound better?
yeah, actually it does.
You sound way hot.
Yeah, what the fuck did you do?
I went into my settings.
Oh no, now you're crackly. I think your cable might be bad, or your input, or oh no,
He said input.
it could be the plug-in
You mean-
thingy.
You mean this?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
that
Jesus.
just
Yeah, that's
fucking fell apart in my hand
What are
after I pulled it out in anger.
Looks like you're trying to fix the ship, Tony Stark.
yeah.
I'm done. How's this? Is this okay? The laptop mic?
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
actually
fine.
fine.
That's fine.
We're good with that. But for listeners who somehow made it through this, Jack showed us the USB plug for his mic cord, and it's well, it barely counts as it's like somewhat of a circuit board and some.
It looks like a microchip with a string.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what it looks like. It just fell apart.
Oh, we're on a tour of Jack's apartment. Fucking just showed us the piece on the other side of the room.
Yeah, I just threw it out in anger. How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I hate this mic. I hate this camera.
Fucking all right.
And see, we didn't have to pay for that.
No, yeah, Jack just licked his finger and wiped the camera off.
Yeah.
Um,
That's just gonna be me in 10 years on the fucking BQE with a dirty rag wiping people's windshields, just getting some practice.
It's all in how you. It's all in the elbows, dude.
that was wow.
Alexa, turn off the overheads.
We're not going to turn on
Tropic, what am I looking at?
Tropic Twilight.
There we go.
No, all right. Is that a staircase behind you?
No.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh. The way that you made this room sound, I thought you were in a closet.
It is a closet.
It's a pretty decent sized closet. You should quit complaining.
Not when you have to live in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You know what? I'm going to do the Jack challenge where I live in a closet for a week.
I'll try 2 years.
Yeah, you've been living in the closet since you married Alyssa.
No, I'm pretty sure people are still not. They know it's a farce. Did
Nobody's
you go to the
surprised.
beach today, Jack?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you go to the beach today?
No.
Oh.
That's why I'm in a bad mood.
Uh-oh. Do you need a hug?
No.
Oh, I tried.
What's the matter? What happened? What happened to the beach plans?
I don't know. What did I miss?
We talked about Uber and bits and pieces of the movie.
Oh, we did a roast back in March. It feels like it was a week ago. And like a comedy roast. Actually, Matt, I sent you some jokes that I was workshopping that day. I remember.
Yep.
And Bill was performing. Bill actually was pretty much the main reason I got to do the show. But I think the only stand-up I've done for the last 3-4 years has been with Bill. But anyway, there was a joke I was very proud of, because he's such a great Uber driver, and he also does Lyft. And I said he's got a 4.7 on Lyft. He's got a 4.8 on Uber, and he's got a 5.0 on Grindr. He's great. He's great. The reviews are amazing. It says it smells nice and always offers a bottle of water. That's the Grinder.
Hey, Bill, remember when I said that Jack has never tried his tight 5 on our show? I'm going to take that back because it's happening right now.
I was like, hey, Bill, you want to get tight 5? I was like, wow. I'm like sweating and shit. Like, what?
Well, I'm like, hey, man, I don't know anything about you. Why don't you tell us what you do? And he goes, yeah, I'm just a stand-up comedian, eh? And I'm like, tight 5.
Once in a while, tell a joke or two. That's it. What can I tell you?
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Although it sounds like telling his Uber rides jokes is the only way he gets paid for it, though.
That is the honest to God's truth.
Wait, so catch me up. Is Billy's camera not working, or is that on my end?
I'm in my car.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Believe me, Jack's been in a house, knows I have to hide.
yeah, we tried it on, and it was just like one eyeball. So
I should have had Bill over, and he could have used my top-notch equipment.
Now you could probably see like my window out my car at my window.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have set up the Wii stuff, because every other time you've been on, it's been fine. But this was a little last minute.
Well, I didn't set up. Yeah, I didn't use my Wii equipment. I tried to use this new USB mic that I spent $10 on that I thought would make life easier.
I'd say return it, but I think you broke it.
Yeah, I broke it. Threw it against the wall.
Oh, Beatmaster does want to point out that we're at the part of the movie where Danny Glover shows up.
What movie?
Well, Nightmare on Elm Street. But if you were here, 3 weeks ago when I couldn't get past giggling and explaining that Danny Glover shows up in Saw 1.
Enter Danny Glover.
He's not in Nightmare though.
No.
No.
He's in
Lawrence
Saw 1.
Fishburne's in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. That's we were talking about that.
Yeah, which I completely forgot. Like a lot of the shit.
But we're
that you
doing
did.
4, right?
No, we're doing 3.
Oh, I thought we were doing 4.
Do you want to watch
Same
it real
thing.
quick?
I've seen them all. It's fine.
Yeah, I want to go back and watch 4 and 5 now because I forgot how much.
4 is supposed to be the best one, right? Or is it 3?
3 is, I think most would say 3 is the best one. 4 is a decent follow-up, but it's kind of like when they switched from Laurie Strode to Danielle Harris's characters in Halloween. Like it's
So
a
3.
totally different cast.
So 3 is 3 the one with Heather and the sleeping kids?
Yeah. 3
Yeah.
the one with
All right. So I thought that was 4 for some reason. All right.
Yeah, and I thought 3 was 4 also, so I was a little pleasantly surprised when everything cool happened in 3.
Yeah, no, it is my favorite movie. I just always remember it as the fourth one.
And also, but Patricia Arquette's launching pad also.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think she had done something on TV, but then this was her first film, and I think it's her second credit on IMDb.
She starred in Boyhood, the Richard Linklater film, and they
12-year movie, right?
Yeah, and they filmed it over 12 years. They should do the Nightmare of it. They should do at least one slasher franchise. It should be Nightmare because he goes after kids. They should do that over the course of 12 years, and then just release like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie that took 12 years to film.
Some people would argue that is what happened to Johnny Depp.
That was his movie called Pirate Hood, where you got to see him as a pirate over 12 years.
I think every day that guy lives, he lives as a pirate.
Now just unintentionally, he's just Jack Sparrow now?
Yeah.
I think he was a pirate that accidentally went through like some kind of time travel wormhole in the middle of a storm, a tempest at sea, when he was privateering. And he awoke in like 1982 Los Angeles.
They got cast in.
Yeah, and Captain John Depp. They were like, and they're like, what's your? And he basically just spent 25 years trying to become a pirate again.
Steve the pirate in Dodgeball.
Yeah, exactly.
His real problem is he just never got over Winona Ryder. You don't get a tattoo that says Winona forever and then like just handle that.
She's still cute as hell.
She's great.
Beatmaster giving Renee Holland props. I love Renee Holland. One of my favorite directors, Renee Holland.
Renee Holland's amazing, yeah.
I assume that was Rennie. That's how.
Is it Rennie or?
I have no idea. I assume that the two film people here, or at least Jack would know.
I've always said Rennie. I don't think I've ever actually said his name out loud once in my life until now.
Elm Street 4, Die Hard 2, and one of my favorite comedies that's underrated, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Totally underrated comedy.
I had to look him up.
In my opinion.
He did it would be a good movie for this podcast. He did like a 2004, 2005 thriller called Mindhunters.
Mindhunter, yeah, with the FBI.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good. It was schlocky, but
Christian Slater, right, was in that.
Christian Slater, Val Kilmer.
Right.
And it continues the tradition of LL Cool J always getting really hurt by the end of the movie, but never
but surviving.
Hey, I'm back, everybody. It's me. Here's a rap track for the end credits.
That's funny how, you have confused Travolta, like the meme. You need surviving LL now. Somebody make that.
Somebody more ambition than us make that.
Yeah. Someone good at stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. Make surviving LL Cool J memes.
I didn't realize he did the long.
Matt's about to fall asleep. I'm sorry, dude.
No. Sorry, sorry. I'm looking at Rennie Harlan's IMDb.
His grinder.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if he can swing by real quick.
A Cliffhanger with Stallone, excellent action flick.
I've never seen Cliffhanger.
One of Stallone's better mid-90s vehicles.
Yeah, no, I've never sat and watched it. I've seen, probably half the film here and there on TNT, but
my favorite thing about Cliffhanger is the Ace Ventura 2 spinoff. At the beginning, Ace Ventura 2, where he's getting the raccoon.
Oh, right, yeah, with the yes. The beginning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've managed to mostly wipe Ace Ventura 2 out of my memory, and I
have the power to kick you out of here.
Wasn't that bad?
I fucking love that movie.
I've only seen the scene where he crawls out of the rhinoceros's ass.
Took out old Richard Pryor bit and use it. You went from like Dream Warriors to Ace Ventura 2. That's hard to do.
Not here. It's pretty normal.
We meet in the middle and we talk about Once Bitten.
Oh fuck! I forgot that was a movie.
Lauren, where have you gone, Lauren Hutton?
Oh God, yeah.
Yes, Freddy Got Fingered was probably the worst movie ever made.
I don't know.
I like Freddy Got Fingered.
I do too, but come on. It's one of the it's gotta be one of the absolute most garbage. Like, who thought a guy putting moose balls in his mouth was ever funny? Like, I don't
Canada, I guess. Canadian.
Yeah. Although it does have my favorite Rip Torn line of all time. And he just goes, Mike Fitzgibbon's son is a nuclear physicist, and my son can eat a chicken.
The best part
R.I.P.
of that movie is the Shaquille O'Neal cameo, hands down. One of the greatest cameos in cinema history.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, with Julie Haggerty at the end.
Oh, wow.
Before or after they jerk off the elephant.
And I was watching Airplane for some reason the other day. Julie Haggerty, wow, she was smoking.
She's so cute. She's so cute.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I gotta look this lady up.
Naked Gun and Naked Gun 2 or 3 or all of them. I don't know. They just came on Amazon Video today.
Good. I'll have to
Yeah.
catch the kid up on Frank Drebin.
Yeah. He'll love it.
Have you ever seen Police Squad, the TV show?
Sure.
Of course. Yeah, I own him.
Every joke from the Naked Gun was from Police Squad.
Yep.
But it's it's a near perfect TV show. It only had 6 episodes. It's amazing how fucking funny it is.
Mhm.
How ahead of its time it was.
I would have been so mad if I was watching that in real time and they were like, nope, cancel it.
Why did they cancel it?
It didn't have ratings, I don't think.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the audience was not prepared for that show.
Yeah, it was like Bill said, it's ahead of its time. Also, I think Leslie Nielsen got caught locking girls in hotel rooms and masturbating in front of them. So
Wait, what? Is that real?
At that time, that was okay. In fact, it was encouraged.
It was encouraged.
Huh.
Room service? No, that's okay. Masturbate in front of people? Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
The theme to the Poison Fallen Angel video, I feel like that was probably exactly what that was about. It just
she got off the bus out into a city street. Yeah. Could you imagine being locked in like Leslie Nielsen's room, and the whole time we thought it was a guy from the A-Team?
Man.
I think I'm pretty sure. I bet you if you look this up on Reddit or something too, there's got to be multiple instances of people sleeping with other people just because they thought they were famous and they weren't.
Oh,
there was
fuck
somebody
yeah.
that has to happen all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like r/fucked by mistake, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
By
Like Fat Damon, whatever the guy is from Breaking Bad, the guy who looks just like Matt Damon let himself go like Affleck.
Oh, Affleck didn't let himself go. Affleck's fucking built.
No.
You just missed it. We had a whole Ben Affleck powwow, a whole Ben Affleck session right before he got
You
on.
did miss that, yeah.
Singing the praises of Mallrats. And
I'm Team Ben. I love Ben.
I agree with you 100%. 100%.
Trying to. Here's a people who've slept with a celebrity before they were famous.
That's
Ooh.
not the same.
No, not at all.
Like
Man,
a casting couch.
I would hate for that to happen to me.
Laid and paid.
You'd have to lie. You'd have to have a lot. It'd be a lot of girls disappearing. Is that ever? Whoops.
Wow.
They're coming to your shows asking for refunds. They're like, no, not for the set.
Because they actually had to pay to take me out too. That's 2 jokes. See that?
It looks like there's only AMAs for slept with a celebrity, not celebrity lookalikes.
Well, I didn't say AMAs, but
Well, I just Googled Reddit slept with a celebrity lookalike.
I'm sure somebody's done it.
There's got to be something out there. I just think there's a lot more of the other
I
direction.
slept with a girl once only because I thought at the time she was Karate Kid's Pat Morita. I was like,
You went to a massage parlor?
yeah.
What the
I'm not-
fuck?
yeah.
Which is good because she thought you were Hillary Swank.
I was like,
craft?
yeah. I was like, we got to do the wax on, wax off. We got, yeah.
Please tell me you were just like, hey, wax on, wax off these nuts.
That's exactly what I said. And then
I don't know how you didn't close the deal then, if that's what the pickup
I
line
did.
was.
I closed the deal, and then I found out. I was like, all right, that was amazing, Pat. And she was like, who's Pat?
Then she ripped the
That's
throat
an
of your
outfit,
butt.
actually. What a technical.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's
Who's
awesome.
Pat? And then, yeah, it's me. Yeah.
God. Talking about the worst movies ever.
I don't know if I've ever seen the Pat movie.
Oh my God.
It's not good.
Was that
They
the
already got figured look like Citizen Kane.
Was that the first SNL movie to come out on the heels of Coneheads? Because Coneheads was a huge hit. So then they made every sketch into a film, and almost all of them were terrible.
No, I think Wayne's World was before Coneheads.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right.
Yep, Wayne's World was 92.
Wayne's World was what,
Coneheads,
91?
92.
Um,
And Coneheads was 93.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I guess my question is It's Pat the first of those films to be like, oh, this is shit?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a run-in with things like Ladies' Man. Night of the Roxbury is probably a few steps above it.
Stuart Smalley. Stuart Smalley
Stuart
has
family.
Stuart Smalley's a little bit better. It has its moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but It's Pat. Dave Foley can't save that movie. God damn! Like
I don't think I've seen it. Yeah.
It was barely released in theaters, right? They even they had to cancel the releases and everything, and
Oh man,
Oh, the Mary Catherine Gallagher film.
didn't see that.
Superstar?
Never saw that.
that was all right.
Oh, Superstar? Yeah, that's not fucking good.
But they're all kind of the same movie too, even though all the sketches are different. It's the same kind of humor.
Same kind of theme. Fish out of water.
Yeah,
Accepted. Now you're not, and now you are again.
Yeah, the direction's very similar. It's a lot of like upbeat kind of shitty musical score, and you could swap one for the other, like doot 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 with like the camera going down the block and like it's like, but like sometimes that works. Like that.
More
That's
Michael's
really
formula,
nice.
baby.
Yeah,
even though they're not based off of SNL characters, the Adam Sandler, David Spade, Rob Schneider movies are all basically the same sort of deal. You know, your
That's a good point.
Chiplo, your Joe Dirt, Waterboy, which kind of is an SNL character.
Yeah, a lot of Sandler's characters or films are basically just tweaks of his SNL characters.
Joe Dirt, in my opinion, one of the most underrated comedies.
Also, never saw.
Oh, Joe Dirt's a good. I tell you, like that got such a bad rap right off the bat because it just looked like it was gonna suck. But
Yeah.
If you watch it, it's a funny fucking movie.
Okay. All right. I never saw. Oh, and I did see Corky Romano, Chris Kattan.
We're going down. Now we're going down bad SNL movies.
Yeah, Peter Falk as the Godfather.
Is that the Do You Guys Want to Buy Some Cookies movie?
You guys like the yeah.
Oh wow, yes, yeah.
That's the only thing I remember about that
That's
movie.
the only thing, yeah.
Wow. Poor. I don't know. I wonder if Chris Kattan's actually a really good. Like,
No.
because like the '90s were so corny, and it's so hard to pull corny off. Like I wonder if he had, like if he had brought it, if he was of the age to be big in the '80s or big now. I wonder if his talents would have translated better to the like the current types of humor. I don't know.
I mean, we haven't done it yet, but we could do.
You think he was too soft in an extreme time?
We could do House on Haunted Hill because he was actually in that.
To who?
He was, wasn't he?
The House on Haunted Hill
I
remake
didn't see that.
with Jeffrey Rush and Famke Janssen and Chris Kattan was actually that, and that's like not against type necessarily. Like he's playing a little squeamish, nerdy guy, but it's not a comedy.
It's a drama. Yeah, sure. I didn't know that. I only saw the film like once, way back. I remember I didn't know Owen Wilson was who he was when I saw it.
Yeah.
I just want to say that this picture of like the Duckett album cover is the best I've looked in like the past 3 years.
Wait, so I'm sorry, you were saying Kattan was good in that?
I mean, he plays something different.
Yeah. Oh, see, I think, you know what I think he should be on? He should be on like a quirky comedy like Fargo.
Yeah, no, he should. And that's the thing is you wait for some of these people who had a real height of popularity to make a comeback. I kept waiting for Brendan Fraser to have a comeback, and I guess it's Doom Patrol. But I thought for sure that he was going to show up as like one of the hot doctor replacements on Grey's Anatomy or a show like that.
Oh yeah. This is all kind of the theme of the Leonardo DiCaprio character in the new Tarantino film. Just like these, like they were big for a time and they can coast on that. They just have to find the right like tier.
I mean, that's your Adam West story. Like it took decades for Adam West to actually get to come back and play off of just being Adam West.
Yeah, so I wonder who's going to come out. It could be Chris Kattan. I wonder who else from the 90s that we haven't heard from in like 30 years, 25
Carrot
years.
Top.
Carrot Top is like, if there was another season of House of Cards, I could see him as like a buzz gray hair. Yeah. I recognize the senator from Nebraska. Carrot Top.
This is my Philip bus, and he pulled out a dust bus with the word Phil on it.
Wait, I got something for that.
Oh God.
We just wrote a.
Oh my God. All right. I could do that. I'm rooting for Carrot Top.
Carrot Top's kind of a fucking creepy looking dude.
He is extremely creepy. He looks like the Wendy's girl on steroids.
Yep. All right, you win.
Also, I think he had work done, and it's one of those things where the work gets done, and it's just like, which direction were you trying to go with this?
I just like it. Scary fucking face.
He looks like
hey, I just want to look different. Do you want to look better? Optional.
Your name's Carrot Top. You're different enough.
I get $10. What's it going to do for me?
all he had to do was have red hair. That's all he had to do. He could have changed his look in any other way. He could have grew a beard. He could have grew his hair out. He could
right.
It's just as long as, or he could just wear a red hat. That's a Carrot Top. Let's wear a red hat.
I mean, was Julie Bowen in his movie?
Carrot Tops?
Carrot Top had a
I remember in that, right? I know she was in one of the Sandler.
She's in Billy Madison. Was she in? No, that was Cody Stone Smith was chairman of the board.
Wow, that's
because I dropped my mic with my Carrot Top movie knowledge. Fuck all you.
Carrot Top podcast coming
Carrot
out.
Top podcast in the trunk. The Carrot Top podcast.
We're not paying attention. We accidentally do the Yahoo Serious movies instead, and just
we don't even. Nobody knows.
The audience doesn't even know. They're like, yeah, I remember Einstein.
Oh my God, Yahoo Serious. It's like Star Wars. I haven't heard that name for quite some time. Oh God.
It's like, say, we just turned this into an episode of 90s Percentile.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Oh, man. Yes, somebody does, Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
And you're lucky I could even get this running.
I feel lucky.
Yeah. Man, it's hot in my car.
Yeah.
It's.
I feel like I'm a teenager. Like I'm sneaking out of the house.
It's 70 degrees out.
I kind of hope your windows are steaming up, and eventually a cop just stops you to be like,
Yeah.
"Son,
I'm
what are you
rocking
doing?"
back and forth just to be an asshole.
Or he just turns into the scene from the first Halloween movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's okay.
I kind of wish you were driving for Uber while doing this show.
I would totally do that.
You could do like a cash cab.
Yeah.
I want to do like a comedy car and like they get in again. I'm like, hey, how you doing, folks? Where are you from?
Yeah.
Just play
I
yakety
give them like a
sax.
bag of chips or something like that. And what do you want to do?
So anybody new in car?
Are you two married? Huh?
Oh.
Oh, I'm married. Oh, let me tell you.
What brings you guys to Civic?
What brings you guys to Accord?
Oh no.
But then you're just the opener, and then you pull over to somebody else's house, and they get in, and they take over the rest of the ride.
Yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed this ride. Your next driver is really funny.
If the next driver is
Driving all over the city.
magic would happen. That would be so beautiful. There's Carrot Top that shows up, and he's got like a bunch of props in the glove compartment.
That's I would say like a carpool karaoke, but with Carrot Top doing prop humor in the car, pulling shit out of the visor, the glove compartment, the armrest.
And he's just like clown carring it out of the compartment because you don't realize the engine's in the back on that model.
I feel like we should get in touch with Carrot Top. We've got ideas out the asshole for this guy.
Yeah, he's that busy.
No. Doesn't he have I thought he has a residency in Vegas.
Everybody has a residency in Vegas now.
Well, I mean, I didn't say it was like something to be proud of. I just
30s old. She has a residency in Vegas.
said it was a thing. I mean,
You think like Dean Martin or like Jerry Lewis or Joan Rivers. Britney Spears is like 25 and has a residency in Vegas.
yeah. Although is she hot these days? Britney Spears now.
Come on.
I mean, I would.
I was going to go to I really wanted to go to the Michael Jackson residency. I was actually planning on like doing a trip and everything and going. And I don't do anything. I never do anything like that. But I was so excited to see Michael Jackson.
Oh, he was going to do that in Vegas too, right? Before.
Yeah. He died during rehearsals.
Oh, was that
That's
what it was
okay.
for?
Yeah.
Maybe you can just catch Captain EO.
What's that?
I said maybe you can just catch Captain EO.
Are they still doing Captain Neo?
No, I think they got rid of that for the Muppets thing years ago, and then I think the Muppets actually left out of Disney as well. But
They're doing a whole thing, right? A whole renovation. Like the castle's Elsa's castle now, right? And
yeah, everything that
it's not Cinderella's anymore.
well, it's all up in the air because of Star Wars and Marvel and all that.
And what's weird is like I'm just picturing like 50, 100 years from now where it's also they just run the country. They're just the government.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and so you have Star Wars Land and you have Marvel Land and Epcot
Buying
Center.
politicians is probably cheaper than paying Sony to get Spider-Man back.
So, where would you live if they take over? I live in Marvel Land.
That's I guess I would. I would live in Marvel, or else I could do Star Wars Land.
I don't know. Star Wars has been a little shaky lately.
How's the property taxes in Tomorrowland?
Since the bomb's probably not very high.
Well, unless property values.
We're just standing there going, no, I'm doing another Incredibles. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Did we all see Infinity War?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched it again last night, and since the first time I saw it, this is the 5th time I've seen it. I am convinced, but nobody else seems to bring this up, that like there's a weird sexual undertone to when Banner lands on the roof and meets the what is it, the master one, ancient one. There's like rewatch it when you get a chance, or maybe
you mean Endgame?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, not Infinity War, Endgame. And there's like a weird soapy music, and like he's obviously shirtless, he's Hulk, but like he walks in with this swagger, and I don't know if you watch the scene, I swear that
now.
it's this weird soapy sexual tension. I don't know, and nobody seems to bring it up, and I was like, oh, maybe it's in my head, and I've watched it 5 times now, and it is definitely like a weird, sexy like opening to a porno.
Well, I think anytime that a blonde woman touches me and I leave my physical form, I'm going to come like a jackrabbit.
But I don't know. Nobody seems to have turned
I don't.
into a meme.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I think Tilda Swinton, I'm not thinking sex. I don't know. I gotta be honest.
No, it's the way the scene's directed. It's not like I was rooting for him or anything. It's just for her. That's another thought I had last night too. Is when he becomes Professor Hulk, it's like, okay, that's great, but you can't have sex anymore. You can never have sex again unless you kill somebody.
I guess he didn't care.
Very nibbin thing.
So much for him and Natalie anyway. Right? Romanoff, Natasha, Natalie.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, sorry, my mic is still cut out.
No, you're fine. In the context of the Avengers movies, like when do you think is the last time Hulk got laid? No wonder he's pissed off.
I was thinking, if Ancient One knows about Hulk and knows about the future and everything, I would be like, oh, you should come and become a wizard, a sorcerer, because the Ed Norton, the MCU Hulk, was doing yoga and meditation and doing all these like Zen practices to not be Hulk. So he's already got a baseline, and like, it would be great to like give him the tools to not turn into the Hulk, and also if he needs it, he can portal and shit. Like they should be training everybody to be sorcerers. It seems like it's a pretty useful thing to have. Yeah, right. Like teach Tony Stark how to make a portal.
Yeah, he'll just have his computer tell him how to do it 3 hours later.
Don't
everybody should.
Time travel's impossible. 3 hours later, hey, time travel. I got that.
Everybody should learn spells. Everybody should get an Iron Man suit.
Right.
Everybody should take the Captain America serum. And then I feel like you'd have to, we'd be in good shape if just everybody had every power.
Yeah, but then no one's different.
Yeah, that's like season 3 of Heroes.
Yeah.
The last season, or was it the last season?
Yeah, it was the last one.
No,
First season was the last season.
Last season was like 2-3 years ago. They did a reboot with Chuck.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it sucked. But I watched every episode.
Why would you do such a thing?
That's how they get me.
Was
What
it
are we
the
looking
Heroes Reborn miniseries? 2015?
Yeah. It's just like, all right, let's do a season. It's been 6 years. Let's do another season. Get some money. That's everybody now. Like if you're a sitcom star now, no matter how bad your career gets, you should just be like, all right, maybe in 10 years I'll get another season on Netflix. Like the Stranger Things kids are hooked up.
Forever.
If their careers go nowhere after this show ends, and they're doing commercials or they become dental hygienist or whatever, a veterinarian, like the
Podcast host.
Podcast host, they can count on there will be a Stranger Things 20 that takes place in 2007, and they're the parents, and guaranteed.
And they'd be in the right side up.
Oh, no.
But
Mike is still just living in his basement. That's why he's a podcaster.
what was that?
I said Mike is just still living in his parents' basement. That's why he's a podcaster.
With the hat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right. Same haircut.
I can't stand that little kid. I can't stand the actor that plays him.
Ben Wolfhard?
He's just a smug little. I just want to smack him. I mean, I get that.
Like, what's up with? Get that kid some fucking dentures or something.
Well, I know. I get like teenagers are just fucking brats, but I just want to smack that kid every time I see.
I'd like to smack that kid.
Maybe don't say that out loud.
It's not like we're broadcasting this to the world or anything.
Well, only 6
Don't
people.
say you want to
watch it,
smack kids in front of kids in front of
Oh
people.
gosh, sorry.
That kid killed it in It. Like that's one of the things where that comes out this week, and
That was
Aaron and I.
Listen, kids, they just
asked for that.
it was like the same set. They just went like right next door. They shot for their stuff for Shady Things, and they went next door. They did the stuff for It.
You're right. There's got to be like 6 or 7 things out right now that probably takes place in the 80s. They should all just make an 80s world.
We
Like
rewatched Summer of '84 the other night.
I haven't seen Summer of '84. How was
Matt
that?
and Erica had reviewed that one. I was traveling across the country.
Mhm.
That's a solid little movie. The '80s thing doesn't seem to be as much of an emphasis in it. It's just the setting. It's just the fact that this is when this takes place. But it's not like the full on nostalgia of it that Stranger Things has done. What all these other things try to do. The
American Horror
Goldberg
Shows
stuff.
doing the.
Yeah, but it seems legitimately like okay, they just picked it because they didn't want them having cell phones. They wanted to tell the story, and it seems like it fit in this place and time to tell this kind of story. But most of the stuff, it's just a shorthand. It's a nostalgia shorthand, and that's.
Is it shot like it was made in '84, like House of the Dead?
Not really. I mean, Matt, you can kind of speak to that a little bit too, right?
House of the Devil, not House of the Dead.
I mean, I could tell you about as much as I remember from back then, which is not much.
From a year ago. No, I mean it doesn't have that kind of. It feels like a modern movie that just takes place.
Yeah,
Story
I like
takes
that.
place.
Yeah.
And it's a really. If you haven't seen it, Jack, I would highly recommend it.
I should.
Because
I was born in the summer of '84.
It was a great summer.
Not for these kids.
Not for my parents.
Ghostbusters. You had Indiana Jones. You had Karate Kid.
Terminator.
The wavy lines of my Terminator. The wavy lines of my nostalgia. The music was awesome.
Yeah, the number one song when I was born was "Time After Time." So I'm going to request it to be played when my coffin is lowered into the ground. That's going to be in my will as soon as I write it. I'm not going to write it.
Cyndi Lauper will actually be there.
I like
so
how
you
you actually-
I'm surprised you're pretty cynical that you want a funeral.
I'll like.
Considering the room you're in, don't you already feel bad about being in a little box enough?
I know whoever. I don't know who will give the eulogy, but I know exactly what the eulogy will be. It'll be something like, "Yeah, good."
Oh, come on now.
I'll you Googleize your funeral.
What would you say, Matt? What would be your opener?
We would do a show. We would do an episode of one of the shows.
I want my
And it-
funeral to be a podcast. Yes.
We would definitely podcast the whole
Yep.
thing.
Oh, head going down the tombstone.
Old fashioned. We would not edit it at all.
Periscope it. Yeah.
Like 10 minutes of dead air in the middle.
Yep.
Here lies Jack. Fuck, his teeth were white.
Yeah. Beat said the exact same thing. He had very white teeth. I need to know what your tooth secret
You
is.
guys are so.
Beat method was like my Swiss brother over there. We have like on the same wavelength the whole night.
He's
You
my
need to
Swiss
white
cheese.
balance your screens. They're definitely ever since I started drinking coffee at like 30. My shiny pearls have gotten very yellow.
I don't know. They
Maybe
look
you should
pretty
just take a
pearls to
fucking
me.
compliment.
The trick is to is I don't have as many to brush, so the,
Oh, you got little.
the toothpaste gets on more.
It's the negative space that makes the white seem whiter.
Exactly.
Jack O' Lantern.
I'm doing a chiaroscuro here.
How'd you lose that tooth?
There's two.
They kick you in the mouth when you were.
Sucking dick.
No, I had baby teeth till I was about 30 years old.
Really?
Yeah, there was no adult teeth to push them up.
Wow.
Eventually, I got them knocked loose on a sandwich, or I think a guy elbowed me when we were fighting because we were cheating at Halo. I don't remember. But either way, they got knocked loose, and it was getting painful to eat. So I grabbed a pair of pliers out of the junk drawer in my kitchen, and I just took it, and I started pulling it, and I was like, oh, I thought it was ready to come out, but it's not. I had like pulling out nerves. And so then like I ran in the bathroom and I put some Oragel on it to numb it. And then I grabbed a floss stick and I hacked at the gum and carved a hole in my gums and then pulled it out with the plier.
That sounds like a fucking Freddy scene in the
Yeah.
goddamn movies.
Or the
Yeah,
Tommyknockers.
Terrifying.
There was a lot of blood everywhere. And I was screaming to Missy, like, I was like, Missy, come look. And she's like, no, I don't want to see. I was like, look, it's gross. And she's like, no, I don't want to see. And then I kept the tooth on my windowsill. I didn't want to throw it out. It was my baby tooth. I had it for 30 years. So I didn't know what to do with it. So I just kind of kept it on my windowsill until I moved to Brooklyn.
What happened with the wood? What happened with the tooth?
What's that?
Did it evolve? What happened?
Yeah, no, it turned into the Genesis stuff. I put it in some Dr. Pepper.
You grew legs and started a click clack around the house.
What?
What?
I don't know.
This is very confusing. Very confusing.
So where were we in the movie?
I don't even fucking know. Danny Glover showed up.
Hey, he did Predator 2. He's not adverse to the genre.
No, that's true.
I forgot he was in Saw. He's not in any of the other Saws. I've only seen
Nope,
the first.
he's only in
Like,
that one.
he got killed and saw it. They killed
Well,
him,
he slit his throat, but then they
Right.
catch on that he's the point at which they show him get his throat slit is in the past.
He talks like
I
this.
remember.
Then I realized he talks like that all the time.
Yep.
We have to find out of what the movie is for anybody who hasn't seen one of the basically most classic modern horror movies of
If you haven't
not-
seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3, kill yourself.
No. The movie will show you how to do that.
That's a good point.
But yeah, it
Yeah,
basically
she had the right angle and everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. They all blur together for me. So, compared to the second one, is this the first time Freddy really Robert Englund really started having more fun with the character and it
Yep.
became
Yeah,
sillier?
this is the big coming out party.
Gotcha.
like there are scenes where it feels like he's going for the line, like the scenes are written around the line, as opposed to
That's
Right.
true, yeah.
being.
It could be. Yeah, that's very true. That's a good way to put it.
So, I remember the first one very well, and I remember this one. But what I don't remember is the second one. So was like a Freddy still kind of like the one in the first movie, or is he kind of in between the Freddy of 1 and 3?
Stupid.
The second
It's not good.
The second one is definitely a much meaner Freddy. It's like a lot of people die, but it's
Even his
also
appearance, he looked like a witch.
Yeah,
No body.
and it's it wasn't really realized by the filmmakers while they were making it, but it's a lot of homosexual themes going throughout it, and the scenes just kind of like way out of like this is the fighting with your sexuality movie for the main character who actually does. It turns out the actor does come out eventually. But
Mark
as they were doing the film, they didn't realize that, and so I think that was it's kind of seen as the deviation from the rest of the films, other than I guess until you get to like Freddy's Dead, and then you get to New Nightmare, which changes things
because he's out of the dream world.
Right.
He comes out of the
he jumps out and attacks everybody at the pool party and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
One of the best scenes in franchise history. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, but it's no. This is when Freddy starts to become fun.
I gotta
and
rewatch it.
Like a Arnold Schwarzenegger saying like "I'll kill you last," that kind of stuff. Where it's just like he's more of the jokester, and that I think changes a lot of the horror movie killer themes. Like we're used to silent killers with Jason and Michael. But at this point in time, you get Freddy being a jokester. You get Child's Play with Chucky being one with a lot of good lines and stuff, and being like you're rooting for him as much as you are rooting for the person to live.
I never really realized that was its own genre. Like the jerky, like kind of jerk but funny
Jerk ass Freddy.
killer. I never. Yeah, but like even in like the D list, like Thanksgiving. You guys have you guys done Thanksgiving? Like even that's like a Freddy Krueger turkey
or Ginger Dead Man, that kind of
yeah. I guess, but Freddy, you're right. Freddy was the first, but he didn't even start out that way. He started out as almost more of a Jason Mike Myers. But then I guess this movie is there any movie before this that kind of does the funny killer?
National Lampoon's Class Reunion. I mean,
yeah,
you want to go on a no? This was the first they ever really ramped up the personality.
I never realized that. I never gave him the credit for that, and I do give him the credit. Robert Englund.
The performance, outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the reboot was. I don't know.
We talked about that a little bit too.
We already went down that road.
There's a reboot coming out in 2021.
I can't stand these reboots. Aren't they rebooting Friday the 13th too?
I think they tried to and it died because they rebooted it and that sucked. And I think they were going to reboot the reboot and I don't think it went anywhere. I heard
a TV show. There was talks about a TV show.
I heard about the TV show too. Yeah.
But is rebooting? Wow, that's going to be a fun phrase.
Reboot. Yeah. What is it? Reboots?
Oh no, 2020.
Treboot? A treboot?
Treboot. Yeah. No, 2020. The new Friday the 13th.
Better or worse than what they've done with Halloween?
A three-boot. Yeah. Bill hated it. I like the new Halloween.
I got to be honest with you guys. I told Jack this. I got about 2 minutes in. The guys walked up to Michael and he goes, "Here's your mask, Michael," and I shut it off right there. I couldn't do it.
But Halloween has now twice gone back and said, okay, these stories that we told don't matter. All that counts is this version.
Terminator's been doing it too.
Yeah.
Terminator's I don't know. I'm very curious about this new one. So far,
but you can always write in with time travel with Terminator.
I am balls deep in Terminator.
The 5 Terminators don't contradict each other. They all do have a timeline you can follow. We'll see if the 6th one.
Well, Dark Fate comes after 2.
So it's ignoring 3, 4, and 5?
Yep.
See, that sucks.
Right.
That's stupid.
But if you think about it, I mean, Halloween has done it 3 times now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're continuing on. There's 2 more movies that are coming out that would.
Halloween's killed and the Halloween ends, right?
Yep. Stupid fucking names.
But that's what Terminator is planning on being a trilogy of this new set of films.
Yeah, so they're going to do it too.
Hoping. But it seems like they want that for every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
I guess Friday the 13th, after Jason X, it kind of allows for that because they go and they relaunch this new planet that they land on, and Jason shows up there.
They definitely were setting up Jason 11, and I guess the movie didn't do well.
No, they went with Freddy versus Jason,
which is a fucking great movie.
Yeah, but
they should have been doing the entire time.
Freddy versus Jason technically came before Jason X.
No, it didn't. It came out in 2003.
No. I'm timeline wise, not release wise. Yeah.
Jason X, I think the beginning stuff takes place in 2010.
Jason X was one of the greatest, another top 5 great killing.
That was
movie
one of
history.
The first times Jack and Dan were on was Jason X.
Yeah. Which killing Jason X when the liquid? Oh, when he beats the girl with the other girl.
Sleeping bag.
That's the best. The original is the best with the from part 7.
Mhm.
The nitrogen is probably my favorite. I don't like the one with the sleeping bag because that's sort of repetitive. That was done already. But
Yeah. So I like 7 a lot too. I like all the Super Jason movies, the Uber Jason 6, 7, 8.
You know what's funny? Now Uber Jason is a driver. How funny is that?
Boy.
And when they get in his car, he just tries out his new material with them.
Oh,
Puts his mask on.
God.
If any movie is aching for a remake or a reboot, it's Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
I love Jason Takes Manhattan, but I don't think it needs a reboot.
I'm always disappointed that Manhattan stuff is like 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, that's why I
it's
think
more
so.
Jason takes a river cruise.
Jason takes a boat ride.
Yeah, he should be singing Old Man River on the
Right?
now.
Playing poker.
Twain. But there's the Jason movie where he fights the girl with the psychic powers.
Seven, the New Blood, yeah.
Yeah, and that's again, I think kind of comes from what they started doing with Nightmare on Elm Street, where the kids started having powers in their dreams.
Yeah.
And I talked about this a little bit before you came on, Jack, is that one of the reasons why Dream Warriors was so great to me was not just because it really concentrated more on the kids fighting back, but also the kids having abilities, which kind of coincided with I was reading X-Men comics at the time. I was 16 years old, and this was a meeting of a bunch of things that I really loved into this horror genre film and changing things up. And then they worked D&D in there. You know, they worked heroin addiction in there, which all the kids were into. It's a good time.
Who was it? The same writer as the other films, or is it? Why is this movie? Besides, it's Rennie Harlan, right? Why is this movie so good? Why, like, it really is.
Wes Craven wrote the script.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He wrote the first, third one, and the last one. That's probably why.
Yeah, anytime Nancy was involved.
Or anytime Nancy was involved. So if you had a Nancy Wes Craven combination, you're going to get a good Freddy movie.
Oh,
You know what
Harlan
kills
was
me?
Harlan was Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Well, you know what kills me? New Nightmare. She's like an old lady now. Like when you watch New Nightmare when it came out, it's like, oh man, Heather got old. She's like old. She's like a middle-aged mom now. She's got to be 10 years younger than all of us at this point, right?
Oh yeah,
Right?
20 years.
It's
It's like how Daniel Harris has been playing a high school girl since high school. Daniel Harris went to my junior high school.
Oh really?
Yeah, Daniel Harris is my age. She's still playing high school kids.
But
Daniel Harris is going to be in
Warriors,
Chicago
Patricia
in November, and I'm going to try and touch her butt.
in Dream Warriors, though, Patricia Arquette was like 19, playing a probably 16-year-old or whatever, but she's not much older than the character that she's playing. She's actually a teenager during the filming of this. So that's another thing, is that the kids seemed, for the most part, like kids.
Which goes a long way.
Yeah, because Heather Langenkamp, I think, was already older when she played Nancy in the first film, and then she was playing a teenager on Just the 10 of Us, which had two of the other sisters from that show were in
Correct.
Elm Street movies.
That's why it was a favorite of my Friday night viewing.
Oh yeah,
A little known fact that the Lubbock Babes were also Freddy Krueger victims.
So Heather
And the son would
Langenkamp,
wear a Freddy shirt all the time.
Heather Langenkamp was 32 in Dream Warriors.
In Dream Warriors.
Yeah. So she
So
would.
she was older in New Nightmare. then.
She's like almost 60 now?
Yeah. 50.
So I'm wrong. She was probably in her early 40s in New Nightmare.
So she's 54 right now. Yeah. So in Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
When was New Nightmare?
94.
So she was.
Yeah. Holy shit, man! You're fucking good.
I have my minutes.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So
wait. Alexa, how old was Heather Langenkamp in New Nightmare?
39.
She's usually good at that.
39.
Okay.
She was born in
So I'm
55.
wrong.
New
So I'm
Nightmare
wrong. I
came out
thought she was
94.
younger than me in New Nightmare, but I guess
I thought she
wrong.
was younger too. I mean, she's.
Oh, she's a beautiful lady.
She was in Chicago in last month when I was there, and I saw her, and she just fucking looks the same as she did in 20 years ago. I didn't pay $40 for her autograph, but I saw her from afar.
I wouldn't pay $40 for autograph either.
Actually, I think it was more. I think it was like 50 or 60. But
Oh, I got like 5% on my laptop left.
oh shit, yeah. So I guess let's fucking wrap this up. I guess we're closing in on 2 hours. Let's see. I don't even fucking. We normally rate this. I mean, we do. I'm just buying time until I can get to my Google sheet.
All right, best kill from the movie. Billy, we already know that you like the marionette.
But no, but the TV is I'll go with the TV.
Yeah, fuck the primetime bitch is both the best kill and also the most ridiculous to say that it could be a suicide.
Yeah, how'd you jump into the TV?
2 feet off the floor, there's no chair anything near it.
No chair, right?
I mean, that's how I would plan to go.
Everybody was CSI. They would have figured that out a long time ago.
It's like the extreme Mike TV from Willy Wonka.
Wow.
Or that, did you see last week? There's a guy got caught on these home security cameras. He's going around, I forget what town or what city. He's going around people's houses, leaving old tube TVs on their porch, but he's also wearing a TV on his head.
So it looks like one of the characters from Saga.
Yeah, imagine seeing that shit from your window or something.
There was for the Met station in New York, there was an advertising campaign where the guy had a TV for a head for a while. So I guess he got a job.
I've got a TV for a head. Yeah, if you haven't read Saga, actually a whole race of characters all have TVs for heads, and when they get to the king has got this like giant 78-inch television widescreen for his head. It's weird how the imagery works, but it's pretty solid.
Is that Brian K. Vaughan Saga?
Yep. And
it's on my list.
Fiona Staples. It's I mean, I fell off of it pretty early on just because I couldn't afford buying comics anymore, but it is a really good series.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's on my list. I can't fucking read. I can't read.
Yeah.
I've been off for 2 weeks. My summer vacation ends tomorrow. And I was like, I'm going to read 2 books. And I read 30 pages of 50 Shades of Grey. That's it.
Well, that would put you off of almost anything.
Yeah, that's an odd book choice there.
50 Shades of Grey?
Besides, you read a page, you have a 2-day refractory period.
Right,
you read another page.
It's 6 hours on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just signed up with Hinge, so now I got that taking up screen time.
What the hell is Hinge?
Yeah.
It's like a Tinder, but more. It's supposed to be more relationship based, but that's not why I did it. I did it because that's what everybody's on.
Yeah.
I don't want a girlfriend.
Probably
tell them that.
Put in your profile.
That's a different podcast. So let's rate this. We do it on a fuck, marry, kill. If you need an explanation, I guess I can give one. Bill, do you understand the concept of fuck, marry, kill?
I am well aware of FMK.
FMK. Wow. So I guess as our new guest, would you fuck, marry, or kill this movie? I already know your answer, so.
Oh, I'd marry the shit out of it.
Here's a question though. What if we throw in New Nightmare and the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
Ooh.
Well, how about we just do this? How about we have Bill back and you and do New Nightmare?
Okay, I was gonna say
play Fuck, Marry, Kill. Tell me when and where. I'll be there. I'll be here.
Yeah, we
I can talk for the all night.
Matt, we've done New Nightmare.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we
I
have.
gotta stop drinking.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't done the first one.
I'll be damned.
You haven't.
Hey, Jack, guess who we did New Nightmare with? Dan.
Me?
No, it's Dan.
Yeah, he does like the movie a lot.
Well, we should do 4 and 5.
Really? Doesn't he like that?
Yeah.
But I like Jack's idea of doing a fuck, marry, kill of the 3 movies.
Right.
Well, I guess
that was my point. So that way you don't have to just pick one of the 3 for the movies, since we've all seen all of them.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so what are we doing? Nightmare 1, Nightmare 3, and New
That's
Nightmare?
my suggestion. It's not my podcast. I'm just throwing it out there.
You're more of a host on this thing than I am.
I'll do as fast as I can.
I think it's a solid suggestion.
That's fine. So fuck, marry, kill, Nightmare 1, 3, and New Nightmare. Bill?
Fuck New Nightmare, marry 3, and I'd kill part 1, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like we don't have enough laptop battery.
I agree all 3.
I saw New Nightmare 3 times in the same day.
And it was a very cool concept. It was almost like a proto Scream.
Yeah, I guess I have to.
Yeah, it was right. It was Scream before she did exactly right. It was his
Wes Craven getting meta.
Yeah.
Right. It was his toe dip in the water of his meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the things is that when I rewatched New Nightmare for the show, I realized how hokey some of the death scenes and stuff are, and it really did not seem to hold up. Like the idea is great, some of the execution is pretty good, but overall, I was duly unimpressed on a review.
It's boring on the kill when it comes to kills and the horror stuff.
Yeah, like the stuff at the end, it just kind of falls apart. So I'm gonna go marry Dream Warriors, fuck the Nightmare on Elm Street, and then kill New Nightmare.
Yeah, I can see that.
Huh? Yeah.
Matt, what about you? Who you fucking?
Man, well, obviously I'm gonna marry 3.
All right, it's 4 marries for 3.
Yeah, I would fuck 1 and kill New Nightmare.
Yeah, so we got a 2 for 2 tie.
Yeah, I just feel like Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is such an iconic movie that. Although,
I know you don't want to kill it.
Right, I do.
It's so boring.
Do agree that New Nightmare is a better movie, but yeah, gotta make decisions.
Even not having peak Freddy like we have in 3, Freddy in part 1 is still really solid with some of the lines, like the Tina "This is God" kind of thing, the Johnny Depp, the blood shooting.
Yeah, that's such a great scene. I do think it's actually it's one of my favorite horror films. The first one holds up, I think, much more than say Friday the 13th Part 1.
Yeah.
I'm on 2%. I just want to get out. I just want to thank you so much.
Yeah.
I had such a great time.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Hopefully your kids won't be such a nightmare, so you don't have to sit in your car.
Oh, that'll never happen.
All right, cool. So we'll plan better and talk quicker.
Yeah, that'd be great. If anybody wants to hit me up, I'm on Twitter. It's @itstricky. ITTRISCHY. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care, bud.
Thanks, Billy.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Later.
Yeah, everybody should follow Bill's Twitter, especially if you're a sports fan. He knows his shit. I want him to do a Mets podcast.
Well, with that accent, he has to do a Mets podcast. It couldn't be baseball. It has to be Mets.
Well, he's Queens born and bred. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. He was a funny guy. Thanks for getting him on here.
Of course.
He was worried that his sense of humor wouldn't quite work with us, and I'm no. I don't think Jack would have recommended you come on if he didn't think you were going to fit with us.
Jack puts on his Christian neighbor to hang with us one time. So I'm here to talk to you guys about Christ. What's your favorite horror movie? That thing, anything that isn't 10 Commandments.
Jack, is Hinge really ChristianMingle.com?
What's that?
Is Hinge really ChristiansMingle.com?
No, it's funny. I'm surprised you put what religion you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as I see anybody that's Christian, I automatically X them out.
The Christian Mingle version of Hinge is just cringe.
Wow, that's not very nice. Wow.
I'm doing okay though. I signed up last night, 2 nights ago, drunk at a bar. My friends made me sign up, but I'm doing okay. I'm getting like 10 matches a day, 10 likes a day. I don't know.
I feel like you're swiping right now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like actively as we're talking, you're on Hinge, just swiping.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have very high standards, Matt.
Matt, throwing those playing on your phone during the podcast stones.
I wasn't throwing stones. I just not at all. I still look at my phone all the time. I'm
not really using it seriously because it's the idea of dating is just horrifying to me. So I don't even know if
we did briefly talk about that right at the beginning about how like if I had to go and do it all again, I don't want to.
Yeah, I got less play than the fucking boy in the bubble. There's just no way in hell.
I was literally the guy that was like begging girls to make out and trying to be cool about it, and it's
much nicer to just not have to worry about that shit and just come home to somebody who gives a shit about you.
Yeah, I just know that every night when I go to bed, I'm not going to get any. I don't have to try really hard to not get any.
It's like I can go to bed and just fucking relax because I know nothing's going to happen.
No, I have
to. My mask.
I have to lay in a specific position that my dogs have deemed acceptable for them to all fit. Someone farts on me every night.
It's all right. It's a good life.
Yeah,
it's a good
worse.
life.
Could be a lot worse.
You just assume which direction it comes from. Do you just kind of go, "Oh, it's a northern fart"?
Yeah.
That one's the dog.
The jet stream was just right.
God.
Yeah, I guess we rated it. I don't know.
We all kind of basically rated it on its own, anyways, by saying that it was the Mary for each of us.
Yeah,
and it's definitely the best nightmare film. It's a great horror film. It's one of the best '80s slasher films. I'm surprised you guys haven't done it yet.
Well, we've had this conversation a number of times with the more iconic movies. We always wait till someone picks it because it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, well, Bill knows his shit, so I'm glad you guys got to cover it with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was not kidding. I would like him to come back to do 4 and 5, both movies I haven't seen in quite a while. So it'd be. I did not realize. So I'm looking at obviously the Nightmare on Elm Street Wikipedia page, but Dream Master. So 4 Dream Master, 5 Dream Child came out less than 1 year apart.
Yeah.
Ooh, Beatmaster's totally right. We have to do Evil Dead.
What's
Yeah, we
this one
haven't done
called?
any of that stuff.
What's the one we're doing now called? The third one?
Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors. I was thinking Dream. I got 3 and 4 mixed up in my head.
Yeah, the whole when they start using Dream, it got a little confusing. I thought Dream Warriors was actually 5. So
And a perfect title would be Wet Dream.
Wet
Like
Dreams.
wet with blood.
Ooh, Blood Dreams. Isn't that just your first period?
Well, we were saying earlier that one of the actresses from this, the one who plays the badass with the knives, she does another movie the same year called Bad Dreams.
Yep.
Which is a very similarly themed thing where she's in a cult, but the leader of the cult who died in the fire comes back and starts haunting her in the mental hospital she's in.
That's very similar. Died
Yeah,
of fire and everything.
Yeah, it's weird how much they are alike, except she's the star in it. But What Dreams could be something fun. There could definitely, or at least that could be an episode of the Nightmare TV series.
Freddy's Nightmares.
Yeah.
Or is the TV series still happening?
I don't know if there's something that's going to still happen at this point. I know that he was talking about he would like to come back and do one last thing with the character. He also gave his blessing. I know we were talking earlier about Nick Cage, but the person he thinks should take over the role of Freddy Krueger is Kevin Bacon.
Oh, that's interesting. Isn't Bacon's doing Tremors, right?
He was, but they basically killed that. He was supposed to be doing a 10-episode series of the show, and they dropped it. So it's still Michael Gross's films coming out.
I still haven't seen. I've never seen the Western, and I've never seen 5 and 6 or 6 and 7. I'm a big like Tremors is my favorite film of all time. One of them. But I just haven't gotten around to watch. I don't want to watch them by myself. I want to watch them with like another Tremors fan, but I just haven't.
Watched 9. Did we do that for the show?
Not me. Not with me.
We watched
There's no-
Tremors. I don't remember watching anything past 1.
Yeah, we did 1. It's a perfect film.
It is a
It's like RoboCop.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, it's like every single second of it is doing its job.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking of going to see RoboCop tomorrow night on 35 millimeter. I'm very tempted, but it's also like, I don't want to be out late. Got to go back to work.
2 weeks off. Couldn't imagine going back after that.
No, it's just horrible.
Yeah. Well,
that's the thing.
but at
The
least-
vacation time.
Yeah, at least I got nothing done and didn't relax or enjoy myself and got burned the first day. So then I couldn't go out in the sun the rest of the time. So at least there's that.
Everybody kept asking me on my way out of work, like, what are you going to do for the holiday weekend? And it's like, I've got a cat who's hopefully not dying, so I'm spending all my time with her. Fortunately, she's doing better.
Yeah. Good.
Like, that's all I could think about. I'm like, fucking time off doesn't do me any good.
No, of
I
course
just want
not.
to be left alone for one day. That's all I want.
What was that?
Huh?
I didn't catch what you
I
said.
said I want to be left alone for one day. Like, I can't do it. Like, I myself could not allow myself one day to be left alone. But sometimes I'm like,
I'll disappear for weeks.
Ugh, can't do it.
I'll come back out with like a beard.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna come out with you're gonna come back with a new mixtape.
He just disappears in the bush and comes back playing guitar like a guy from Nelson. I'm talking every 80s metal band right now.
He's just throwing them out.
This is just an excuse.
You know, I miss. Well, I'm sure your audience doesn't want to go through it again. I am very curious when I go and listen back to the beginning of this episode how the album cover came to be. But I'll save that for the.
All right, yeah, I won't explain it to you. I'll let that one.
We don't want to repeat ourselves.
Let that happen. But I
right.
suppose
Well,
let's
I think that's it for me.
get Jack out of here. I gotta pee. So
Jack, do you have anything that people should be going to check you for right now?
this is how Corey's saying, like, hey man, when's worst episode ever? 90% coming back.
Both podcasts were supposed to have seasons banked by now, but it's just Dan's got a kid on the way, a few weeks away, so it's just we'll see when we see. I do host Simpsons Trivia with him now, so if any of your listeners are in the tri-state area and want to drive out to Brooklyn, or if they're in Brooklyn and want to take the train, it's the first Thursday of every month. It's this Thursday, which is the 5th of September. It's at 7:30 at night. And we ask, it's basically you get to hang out with, 100 other hardcore Simpsons fans, where you can make the most obscure jokes from the 90s Simpsons and everybody will get it and laugh.
Where does this take place?
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. It's Woohoo Classic Simpsons Trivia. I think our Twitter is Woohoo Trivia BK. Okay. Follow it there, and then you'll get all the details. But it's usually in a bar in Park Slope, Brooklyn. And
then isn't there Me Script Write Good?
Oh, thank you. There is that too. Me Script Read Good.
Read Good.
MeScriptReadGood.com. If anybody ever needs, if they're writing their own films, me and Bill, I don't know if he mentioned, we're working on a slasher film of our own. But if anybody's writing a screenplay and needs notes, I charge a large lateness penalty, and I will give you some very extensive notes. It's one of the few things I'm very good at is script doctoring and editing. So
awesome. Well, thanks again for hanging out.
MeScriptReadGood.com.
MeScriptReadGood. Thanks again for hanging out, man. I know you were late and your other plans.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I made it
for a little bit.
Glad I got a little hang time with you guys.
Absolutely. Well, get on with your night, Corey. What are you even doing? What do you want to talk about?
I just want to get back to Matt dropping his Venmo so people can check out his nude snaps.
that was Jack. We were trying to get him, and then he started licking cords. It was very erotic.
Yeah, that was its own subscription service.
Yeah. So I guess you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Untapped. Matt the Lifeguard.
Oh shit! Because I am a social media genius. Right when our page started blowing up, thanks to a couple of
Randy
really cool the last few months.
Yeah.
I decided, what's really great is if instead of trying to take this page and actually post shit for it or anything else like that, I'll just make a group now, 4 years in, so that other people can do the work.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you know what? If you're on the page, or if you're not, you can go to look up Potheads, the fanatical followers of the Podcast of Terror on Facebook, and then meme away.
Yep.
Just whatever you want to fucking post there. We're not even gonna fucking moderate it.
Meme until your dick hurts.
Yep.
So yeah, go ahead and check that out.
It's the Wild West of Facebook groups.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. What else? We're Facebook. I think we're on Twitter and Instagram. Neither of those get updated. Podcast there. So yeah, thanks again for listening to the Podcast here. We will talk to you guys next week.
Stay scary, everybody.